Hello, friends. How is everybody doing on this fine evening? Would you two be quiet back there, please? I hear you whispering. I hear you whispering. You're not on it. Unless you want to come say hello. You want to come say hello? No. Why not? I'm being surrounded by ghosts right now. Ghosties that have made my camera go completely out of whack. Oh, here it goes, bringing it back. I'm going to be very fuzzy for a moment. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Voyage of the Siren Song. I'm your one true captain, your storyteller of old, the man, the myth, the legend, me. Hi. I guess they really don't want to come. Yes, you actually might hear some other crew members actually.
You're talking to us?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Do you want to come say hello as well?
No, we're trying to get some bloody work done over here.
Well, then get your work done. I'm a captain over here. I told you, yeah, come on in, say hello.
Sorry.
You should be sorry. You're very, look all that noise that you're all making, and you made yourselves looking fuzzy like.
Look at what?
Yeah.
Look, that's because I'm not a main character. I don't need to be in focus.
All right, that's right. You can be on the Siren Song later. All right, sounds good. All right, have a good one, friend. Hello, let's bring everyone else into the fold. Hello, friends. How is everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
Looking to survive.
Good. Looking to survive. Excellent. I am still out of focus, and they're still making noise behind me as well.
Those are great cuticles.
Oh, thank you.
Set the bar so high, Brent.
What if you put your face?
Yeah, put your
What
face
did you
up
if
there,
you just
Adam.
put your face? Just
There you go.
do the whole game like that for the whole night. Just be Taco the whole night.
Hello, friends.
My name is Taco, Mum. Mum, I love you, Mummy. Oh, absolutely love
I
you.
love you,
All right,
Taco.
I'm back. See if it works. Let's see if it's working.
No.
I'll get it going. Totally fine. I've blurred out for my own protection. That's right, Luke.
There you are. You're
Ah, I've
focused.
made it. Here I am. Beautiful voice. Yes, I'm actually graced. So myself with my own ship, I've got a Nathan, I've got a Jim, a Craggle, and an Adam Rady doing things on my ship behind me. I can't show you right now because I've got this wall behind me. But I'm glad everybody else is here as well too. Oh my goodness. Let's get right into some fun and everything. Rossi, say hi to everybody. I lost something
Hello.
on here. Entertain all these people in the whole thing. Go ahead and say hello.
Hello. I am
Hello.
Philip Rossi. Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Philip Rossi. Welcome
hi,
to
Philip Rossi.
the AA
Perfect.
meeting.
Yeah. I'm Philip Rossi, and I'm playing Captain Scheiss Heisenberg, who is the captain of the Siren Song. These are the voyages of said Siren Song. Scheiss Heisenberg is an old man who is a wizard and the captain. I think I covered everything. He's got a beard, and he's got a...
You did. That was,
he's got a familiar.
Well done.
that was pretty good. Well,
That's pretty good.
I have a question for you, Captain. So you all were we all left out, or were we all left off last week? All of you were in some dark, watery tunnels. Where do you think all of this is going to lead, Captain?
I think it's going to lead to a series of interconnected, underground, partially flooded tunnels. There will be some treasure, and there will be a lot of Sohwagan, and probably one or two big versions of such, maybe tentacled, ending in a fight in which Brent Bennett attempts to stab some stuff, doesn't notice something, does like 3 damage the whole time, and then eventually gets like 1 good shot. Scheiss Heisenberg, not having any of the correct spells, will not be able to explode anything and will suffer dramatically. Eek will attempt to throw a bomb, but the underwater explosion will hurt somebody else. Diana will be in a poor position to aid somehow. Wendy will attempt to put somebody to sleep, but it won't work. And Shu will do fuck all until the end when he does like 70 HP of damage. That's my prediction. You heard it here,
And
folks.
that's the game, everyone. Good night.
Oh yeah.
Run down everything. Oh wait. First F bomb of the night. Should I do the F bomb or the fuck tarts? No, you know what? I'll do the F bomb. That was from Rossi. F bomb from the Rossi. Excellent. All right, Captain, pass it around. Pass it to
Boom.
you change it up a little bit. Yeah, Yeah, really
You know
make the rest of your crew try to figure out who you're going to toss it to.
Okay, I'm gonna toss it to someone that I really enjoy playing with, and I feel like we do not
Well,
hear
it's not
enough
me.
from. It's obviously not James too. I think we should all hear from my good friend, Mr. Dustin Zaney.
Dustin.
I feel so honored, Captain. Oh, I thank you. Oh my goodness. I'm a little like caught off guard. You know, I really thought someone else was gonna win, and I can just prove. Oh, you guys like me. You really
Didn't
like
prepare a
me.
speech.
I didn't prepare it. No, I'm so sorry. So I just want to say hello. I am Dustin Zaney. I play Eek here on the Siren Song. I am a hobgoblin alchemist that gets mistaken for a goblin quite often. I like blowing things up, and you can tell because I've even blown parts of myself up. I mean, half an ear is gone. I expect that we're going to get into some more shenanigans. We're going to try. I'm going to try to use a bomb. The whole cave will collapse. Bennett will most likely somehow reap the entire consequences of that. No one else, only Bennett.
That sounds right.
And then I'll be like, well, let's do it again. And but then we will find a lot of cool stuff. And Bennett will get something that will kind of tide him over. And then you'll forget about the whole thing, and we'll all go home richer, with maybe a few less appendages than we had before, but with more gold. So it'll be good. It'll be good.
You'll be able to use that gold to buy extra appendages. Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
And soon, I plan on being able to build appendages.
Building appendages. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because what is it? Ralph lost his hand, and so sooner or later, I want to give Ralph, an awesome, like not robotic, but what is that called?
Mechanical.
Robotic stone.
Mechanical. To where he could be like, I want a sigh, and he's like, whoosh, and like a sigh will come out, or he's like, I want a can opener, and he'll have a can opener.
This is gonna be a Swiss Army hand. Gotcha.
Swiss Army.
Thank you. I'm stealing that. I'm going to make Ralph a Swiss Army hand.
Ralph.
Yeah.
ROLF.
All right.
So, toss it to somebody else.
Let's pass it on down to the love of my life. Of course.
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you
my
so
better
much.
Half.
Thank you so much. I'm
wait.
ready.
Unfortunately, Philip Rossi's already taken. So he's already gone. So I'll have to go to my second love. Will have to be Miss Wendy Lee.
I thought you were gonna say Rosie. Rosie, because but in real life, yes, thank you. Sorry, James.
It's cool. I'm not hurt twice. Once in the game and once out.
I have a wife.
I have a wife.
Sure. Yep. Let's all just say we have wives.
She's got a wife.
Oh my! They've all got wives. Hey everybody, I'm Wendy Lee Zaney. I am playing Aradia, who is a human witch, and she's while she's traveling and voyaging with the crew of the Siren Song, also looking for the one responsible for her parents' murder. They were merchants on the sea trading goods such as silk, and just never came back one day. So she has a lot of revenge in her heart, but also close to her heart is a little adorable taco.
We need to get you a taco in like a potion bottle. I think I want to find you one day.
Potion bottle.
She's an octopus. He could totally fit inside there. He can fit it. He can fit in there.
Fit.
Oh my God, he's gone. He's turned into a ink.
He's incognito mode.
Thing.
Yes, camouflage.
Aww.
Yeah.
But yes, that is Aradia. She's really good sometimes at putting people to sleep.
Yeah, accurate. And they sleep for a long while too. And then we'll get into how she put people into a very deep sleep last week. So toss it somewhere. Oh, actually, what does Aradia think? Where are these caves and stuff are going to lead? What's going to happen? I mean, Eek thinks he's gonna kill people. Captain's got everything planned out as well too. What are you thinking? You muted yourself
you
now.
muted.
Now she's at a loss for words. She has no idea what she wants to say.
I was having a secret conversation with Taco. I'm sorry.
Yes,
If
mommy.
she could have sweaty palms underwater, this would be happening. She is very worried about the Sawagan. She is quite worried about the note that they found the last week in that little hideaway. And she's thinking that the revenge of the mom Sawagan perhaps isn't over yet. So she's definitely going to be on the lookout for anything that seems dangerous or out of place, while being very aware that they are way underwater and getting back to the surface isn't going to be a quick trip. And with that, I am going to toss it to my girl, the butcher. The butcher. Diana.
The butcher! The butcher!
The butcher!
Thank you, Wendy. Hi, guys. I'm Diana Strepo. I'm playing an elf skald, first mate of this lovely crew that she calls her family, who has been recently married to a woman with great boots. Anyway.
Boots. Okay, I heard
Boots.
boots too.
Boots, not boobs. Boots.
Well, I mean, she's got great boobs too. It's okay.
We heard what we
Well, I don't know.
wanted
You have to
here.
tell me.
I did. I
Oh.
described her. She's tall, blonde, big, great
And-
boobs and boots.
Lockhart is a very jealous person, but we have to also remember
Oh,
he has a
sorry.
wife too, so he needs to shh. Anyway, I'm the healer, I'm the butcher, I'm the fighter, and I try to keep our crew together as much as possible because this is my new family. What I think is happening, actually, I'm kind of interested to seeing if there's more about Isabella Locke in these caverns, and maybe she's working with the Schwagen. I think she's working with the Schwagen. That's why she's in here. I want to know if there's also...
She dead.
Or did work. Well, yeah, she's dead, but did work. And I want to know if there's any other treasure in here. I mean, what else is in here? Curious to see. Maybe there's a survivor of some sort, or... I don't know. We'll see. Well, I was gonna, go with James Chu, but James Chu is always, mad at me for getting married recently. So I'm gonna go send it off to...
I am always mad at you for
Brett.
getting married recently. that is how that works.
Hey everybody, my name is Brent Horst. I am playing Bennett Ishmael, the fighter, the liability sometimes, but last time he was doing pretty good, so it's all upside from here. I would say that our captain's prediction is probably going to be very, very accurate, save for one thing. I think he missed that Lockhart will be and they can't hit him. So they're going to throw everything at Lockhart and they can't hit him. But everything else is probably accurate. So
Well, Lockhart doesn't have his tummy chainmail shirt, so it's a lot easier to hit him.
yeah. Crop top.
you're right.
His crop top.
You're right.
Crop top
Mithril
is a
chain
real
crop
word.
top.
And to give an example of this, I'm going to throw this at James Chu, and I missed. So
No, he missed because he went the wrong way. Okay, it took
There you go.
time. It had to travel
Okay.
far distance.
Hello, my name is James Chu. I play Loka, the Redskin Raven, Tiefling Magus, who is currently dealing with multiple existential crises. One with Azara, and the other one with Bennett, who is now seemingly hitting things. So what is he going to do if all he can do is hit things, but now there's multiple people who can also hit things? What Lockhart thinks is currently happening is Pluck is currently flying through the seas. In the distance, we see an island, a note in his hand that has a scribbled rating that says divorce.
Poor Bennett.
That's what's going on in Lockhart's head. It's what he grasps onto in moments of darkness, which is right now. Yes, that is what I believe is happening. I mean, Lockhart. That's what Lockhart believes is happening.
Very, very good, friends. Very, very good. And friends out there as well, too. You all can alter the course or help this crew in certain ways throughout the show. We do have some mini donations that you can do. For $5, you can give our players a golden coin, which allows them to have a +1 or a -1 coin that they can just give to themselves or to somebody else. For $10, a platinum piece. Ooh, very, very good for a platinum piece. Think of it like it is a reroll, essentially. I think Bennett is sitting on one of those from last time. For our next donation tier, we've got Pirate's Booty. You can help these adventurers out, and they can find something very, very cool. Actually, Azara found something pretty awesome the last time that she shoved in her pocket. For $30, we've got some wild magic of the seas. Not of the A's or the B's, but the C's, the third letter of the alphabet, ladies and gentlemen. All right, that is technically a pirate's favorite letter. Not R. A lot of pirates don't like to say R. We don't ever say R. That's old stuff.
R.
Okay, all right. So Azara likes to say R. And then for our big one, we have it. We call it the Pieces of 8. There are things that can happen to this crew if you do a Pieces of 8 on one of them. Something really cool could happen, or something not cool could happen. But regardless of whatever you do, it's all the same to me. It's gonna be lots of fun. All right, my friends, who's ready to deep dive back into this watery adventure, into your watery grave? Yeah.
I'm ready.
Aye,
And
Captain.
we're also
Mighty.
kicking this off right because we already got some bits. We got
bits
some
from Kitsu.
cheers from Kitsu.
Oh, Kitsu.
Thank you so much
Hello.
for the bits.
Thank you,
Thank you,
friend.
my love. We appreciate it.
And then also in the past handful of hours as well too, we've got some other followers. Amber is fossilized. Tree Sap has followed. That's fun. Giggle Monster, DFD, Boba Fueled, and A Second Reality have all followed.
Thank you, guys.
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Good, because our reality is a lot of fun. Because where our reality left off the last time, Azora had woken up to the death of all of her crewmates. All of them dead. Even Pluck told her so. Kept saying, Aradia, bye-bye, bye-bye. And her and all of her... Aradia gone. Whatever. Yes, Aradia gone. That's what. Get it right. I'm gonna write that down. Aradia gone. Gone. Good. I take really good notes. All right. Said Aradia gone, and Azara started freaking out. Runs up to the top of the deck of the ship of the Siren Song, and everybody else is totally fine with it. Like, where did everybody go? She screams, and everybody's like, "Oh, don't worry." They climbed up the side of the cliff. Take me to them now, immediately. Oh yes, you just have to relax. No, take me to them now. This is exact word for word confrontation that she had with everybody on the ship. She hops over into one of the dinghies with Leandro. She climbs up the side of the skull face, and as she starts screaming down this tunnel, Aradia starts walking out with this light behind her, looking very angelic, and Azara falls to her knees. Aradia in her mind is dead, but she really wasn't dead. She was totally fine. Everybody came out to make sure she was okay because she wasn't there for the giant battle that happened beforehand. She for whatever reason, was not there, but she was there. She could see everything that was happening. She couldn't actually interact. She saw the captain and Aradia being pulled up by this giant vine creeper above the top of the ship, about to be eaten by this beak. Everybody came to make sure that she was all right, except for one person. Lockhart. Decided that... See, he left as well, too. I'm talking about her, and he walked away as well, too. How rude, Lockhart. Goodness. She goes back into the cave, and where we left the rest of the crew as well, too, is they're all standing over this giant pit with a big hole at the bottom of this pit leading down into the darkness. They threw some lights down there, saw some water. Eek, in the meantime, while everybody was kind of searching around this cave, everybody found some yummy golden bits, and then Azara in this crevasse in the wall, she found this tiny little marble elephant.
Oh, yeah.
They couldn't quite figure out what this was, and she shoved it in her pocket to try to figure it out another day. Eek descended the rope into the hole, found out that there was water. It was very warm. Everybody decided to start descending the rope. Captain decided just to fall in. Thankfully, Eek and his quick reflexes moved out of the way as the captain splashed down, and the water became a little bit warmer right next to Eek as well. Everybody made their way down, found a few more gold pieces, and then under the water, they found a tunnel. Well, before they all decided to get into the water, they all... Because I'm very generous, I allowed this crew to find potions of underwater... I was going to say underwater basket weaving. Aha! I've changed your magic, ladies and gentlemen. You're professionals. Take a +19 on underwater basket weaving skills.
Ooh.
They made their way into the tunnel. where they came into another chamber completely flooded, where they were attacked by Swaggin. And in no time at all, Bennett rushed forward, pretty much dismantling like 3 of them on his own. Lockhart and the captain blinded them. Eek and Zara just like, we'll hang out back here while we get stuff. And then Aradia made one of them drown and die. And then she caressed another one that was blinded and unconscious and slit its throat. Very different from the way that Aradia normally is, but she's very angry right now, apparently, it seems. They picked the right tunnel. They headed to the right. The tunnel led up into it looked like a small cavern, that there was lots of overgrowth, and it looked like a desk and a chair, and they found out that it was actually inhabited, previously inhabited, by Inkskin. That was the woman that they felled at the Battle of Tidewater Rock. Saw that there was some scribbling notes saying that the chieftain was incredibly angry because they had previously, before even getting to Tidewater Rock, had murdered his son. While they were in this cave, this cavern, they saw these big flowers that had these beautiful purple petals on them with skulls, and then they realized they're very poisonous and dangerous. Thankfully, all of them, when the pollen was released from these flowers, they were all able to stay awake except for the captain. But in saving the captain, Lockhart picked him up, laid him on the bed, and set it on fire. Totally worked. It's a very, very cool thing that they found. They took care of these plants quite easily. And underneath the bed, Lockhart actually found a wand of something that he shoved into his pocket. They found a little chest with some extra additional potions of underwater basket weaving. And then they also found in a jar a severed head of an old pirate captain that had been missing for about 3 decades. And they knew that there had been a reward out for his head. Maybe they'll find out how much they all survived. And that is where we leave our crew. As our camera pans up from the water, we see everybody. Lockhart putting out the flames on the bed, Captain waking up as well. The rest of the crew is standing around kind of cleaning themselves up, ready to possibly explore more of these caves inside this cliffside, down into this deep, deep well in the tunnel that they all decided to go down inside, preciouses. Leave it up to you, my crew. What do all of you do?
We read comments?
We read comments! Yes, we can read some comments! I absolutely love that. Yes. Guys, we're supposed to do that together. Wait, let's try it again. You ready? What is it that we do?
We
read comments!
Yes.
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Say hello to everybody. I do keep my promises. What will Scooby-Doo do?
We're getting closer.
You do. Oh, and really quick before we do that, the real POTUS dropping $10 and giving a golden coin to Captain and our first mate. So the two of you have an additional +1 that you can use for whatever roll. Or if you want to make sure that Lockhart fails on something, you could give him a -1 roll. Yes.
Okay, that's not cool.
We have a +1 or -1?
+1, yes, you can use it for a +1 on something or a -1. The +1 is only for yourself. The -1 is for somebody else. Thank you, John.
Yes, thank you. Speaking of John, John was saying the real Poach 98 goes, Tiefling? Who let this guy on the show?
Wow.
I didn't say it. I'm just saying it in a certain way.
You did too, just
I didn't
say it.
I said it, but he typed it.
You're lucky I listened to Captain Planet before this session, or I would not be this positive.
Aww, we love you.
He's a hero. He's a hero. You guys keep reading. I'm going to shut the lights off, too.
I need a hero. Sorry. And speaking of our favorite tiefling, it's Lucas Martinez says Lockhart is worried about Buckethead.
Lockhart is always worried about Buckethead. Lockhart looks out the port side, staring at the moon, wondering if Buckethead is also staring at that moon.
Yeah, Mookton is totally fine. Don't worry.
Oh, Buckethead.
People know who
we miss Buckethead so much.
What would Scooby-Doo says, one thing is certain, there will be bombs.
Yes.
There will probably. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. I guess we'll find out depending on where he's at.
Hopefully, like above ground
Mm.
would be
No,
preferable.
no, that's just no fun. No fun. I want to make sure the
And
concussive
I'm
force
gonna get the
is felt everywhere.
I'm gonna get the business end of that too, probably.
Yep.
We've got so many people in chat. We got some Gary Bones up in here. Daniel Lanza's
Gary
here as well
Bones,
too.
Daniel.
Jared's in here.
Hi,
Yeah,
Jared.
and Lucas says, "Is the
Jared.
cooking stream super viewer Daniel Lanz?" Ha ha ha!
Yes.
Because he said,
Yes,
"Good morning,
Daniel Lance
Byron."
is our favorite. According to everyone.
Wow.
Wow.
Whoa.
Oh,
Yeah,
ooh, wow.
that's-
Well,
Whoa.
Yeah, you guys have some.
sorry,
shoes to
everybody
fill.
else.
That's the running joke if you watch the show, our cooking thing.
Nope, it's
Wow.
too late.
See,
said-
John's
Well, I
ready to
know-
quit.
I know who does watch the show is John, the real POTUS, because 98, because he said it's like a well-oiled train wreck. So I know he's been watching.
Oh. We love you, Dat fam. In all honesty,
Dat fam,
we
best
love
fam.
you.
Dat fam, best fam, absolutely. All right, so Dat fam, best fam, you all send your letters as you're all standing there, figuring out what you want to do. You see all these you see these bottles with little notes in them, and it's like, oh look, real POTUS. Oh look, like love letters apparently as well too. And there's all these letters inside this cave, but now there's no place else to go. There are a couple more of those plants in the back of this cave, if you so desire. If you want to go and say hello to them as well, or you all can look out. What do you want to do?
Do these plants also have skulls on them that were
They
just
do.
by chance not described?
Yes, no, these are the same types of plants. So you counted maybe about 8 of these, and 2 of them are farther back in this cavern.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Is there anything
Lockhart's
else?
just gonna set it on fire.
Set it on fire, yeah. It sets on fire, and you hear this explosion of its body bursting, as you have now helped pollinate this cave more with its entrails. Very good, Lockhart.
Yeah.
But no, you guys you've looked around. There's really not a lot left in here. You know that Inkskin stayed in here. Did not look like she did not have a lot of possessions that she kept. And again, these 2, you found out that these plants, these Satabe plants, look like they had been rounded up at one point, and a Sawagan made its way in here and broke down the barrier, which is what all the driftwood was. And actually, I think it was Bennett that found its body laying upon the ground. Completely sucks of all of its fluids.
Wait, okay, so out of game, this lady planted poisonous plants. So every time she went home, she had to roll a deck or a con save in order to just go to sleep. That they try to eat her.
So what she did, so these plants actually, what they do is they help produce oxygen. So she had them because they were oxygen producing plants, but she had them contained. So even if they did put her to sleep, they wouldn't actually be able to get to her.
Ah, okay.
There you go. You found a head,
Solid
you found
plan.
some bottles, and Lockhart has a wand. That's what you guys got.
Is there any other doors or paths
Nope.
to this area? This is it.
Nothing else.
Just
I
a
don't see
singular
any other
space.
ways out of here.
No.
All right. Well,
So I guess we
Radia's
gotta go
carrying
back
the
to
head
Watery.
in the jar, so she will say, well, if we're done here, I would like to get this back to the ship, maybe, so I don't have to look at it. Thoughts?
Wait, is that the treasure?
Do you think a severed head is you can hold it if you want to.
No. I don't want to hold it. Hold on, Lockhart.
Mhm.
Yeah, there we go. I don't want to hold it. I'm just saying this whole riddle led us to a head, or is
Well,
there more
can we
to the
re-
riddle?
There's a whole nother
can we
cavern we have
read-
to check. Right?
We also read-
We hit a split in the road, and we went one way, and there's still a whole other way that we have to go check. So there might be more. And also more
Captain?
traps and things that we might die.
I believe I'm still in contact.
Captain, can you please read the riddle again? Or
I
whoever
think I'm
had
still
it.
unconscious.
No, you had woken up.
Oh.
You had woken up this time, Captain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I took care of you.
Yeah, you got set on fire by Lockhart, and you're totally fine. Totally fine. You're good.
Yeah.
We're not just going to
So
let
is
you there.
everyone else. Yes, let me recall the riddle. It says, from blue light's embrace, spies a grave lady's prize tooth. This a dawn flower's first kiss, climbs the captain's wavered orb, to claim old king's hoard.
So we're still missing the hold.
The hoard.
Are you sure
No,
that
we've-
the horde is not? I mean, there might be a bad handwriting or something. Horde might be head, actually. So this might be the treasure.
I thought that was the globe. The orb that she talked
The
about.
orb is the
But the
eye.
horde,
Yeah, it was the eye.
the horde
I'm
might
sorry,
be spelled.
I did not know it
So
was
there's
the eye. I was
not
trying to
a
find
bunch
you
of
all.
whores at the end of this cavern.
No,
Why are
but
we
it'd
on
be,
this?
no, it's a horde.
Probably
If it was a whore, it would just be one. And
What would you call a group of whores? A murder?
Why are
a
we talking
flop?
about whores? Stop that.
I don't know.
Because
Yeah, you have a
Lockhart's,
wife.
Lockhart's, you know,
Yeah,
kind
you
of
have a
single-minded.
Bennett is going to
actually
start
need
to
to
walk
all
back
work
to the
towards
water
that
and
goal.
yeah.
So
I'm gonna,
we've already stripped
I
this
think
cavern
we should
clean.
go this way.
We go
And I'm
that
gonna walk to the
way,
water
and
and
Eek
go.
points towards the way they came in.
So what were you two boys were saying? Because I heard you both talking at the same time.
I'm going back to the water because I don't.
To the wall.
There's no way out of here.
Yep.
Other than the way we came.
Well,
Yeah,
there's
so
got
what
to
do you
be a horde somewhere that I believe Mr. Eek is right. There's got to be as a treasure somewhere else. I mean, this pirate woman who was staying here, she certainly didn't climb up the whole scale, go through the eye, go down the tunnels. That has no ladder to come back up every time she wanted to come go to sleep. There has to be an easier way.
You know what's bad when you really think about it? If the Ink Lady was in here, spending that much time in here, she might have already found the treasure. So that means it's probably already on her ship that sailed away after they attacked the tower. Or what was that place called? What I forget. I'm sorry. Where's your wife from, Azara?
Lady of the Rock.
Yeah, the Rock. The Rock.
Tidewater
Don't remember
rock.
the ex-
Tidewater.
Thank you,
That's
Tidewater
the rock I'm thinking of. But anyways, I mean, we can check out the other place. But if Ink Lady already spent all that time here, she probably already found it. But I mean, might
Perhaps
as well keep
Isabel
looking.
Locke did. Perhaps she didn't. But there has to be an easier way out than summiting back up the tunnel. So I suggest we continue on.
Okay.
I agree.
Before Eek leaves, though, he's going to go up to one of the dead plants that doesn't look to be too destroyed, and see if he can cut like a few leaves and just collect
Ooh.
some of it, so he has some stuff.
Yeah.
Because he wants to see if he can make anything out of it.
Sure. You've now got some extabe leaves. Bay
Extabe.
leaves. Bay leaves, good for cooking.
Exactly. Who knows? Maybe it can make like a nice little a tea that can help you go to sleep.
Be poisonous. Excellent.
Will you be able to wake up afterwards?
Extabe.
It's XTABAY.
B-A-Y.
And Arania, if you wanted to, if you guys are going to explore more, you could always just climb back up to the hole and set that jar up there if you want. Just a suggestion. If you don't want to have it on your person the whole time.
But what if it gets taken?
Mm-hmm.
We'll just bring it with us.
Then
Well,
we tell
yeah,
those
we can
people
take turns.
we have a certain set of skills. Skills that
All right,
make it
everybody-
for people like
Every
them.
half hour we switch off. I'll go first.
It's
Do you want to make it into a papoose? I can give you a scarf.
I mean,
why
there's
don't we
also.
just put it in?
Yeah. Go ahead, Captain.
You could just put it in my backpack if it's that big of a deal.
Oh, I mean, are you okay with the extra weight, Captain?
I will be fine. I don't know why you say. I mean, first of all, swimming, the weight is limited. But But also, I don't know why you think I could not carry a human skull in a jar. I wasn't capable of doing this.
You're a very old man, Captain.
I'm sorry. You are probably older than I am, and no one ever says anything. Give me that head.
Yes, Captain. I hand it over. I hand the head over, the jar over.
See, it's fine.
You're right, Captain.
I'm fine.
Again, Captain, you can trade off if you need to.
Do you feel lopsided at all?
No, I feel quite great. I feel
Keep
superb.
the head
I
steady.
don't need to trade off.
Whatever you say,
All right.
Captain.
2 heads are better than 1.
Captain, I do have a question for you, Captain. What I have a question about your pupil. How is pupil getting around with you right now?
But generally, he hangs out in my hat. Who knows? He could be drowned by now.
Well, and I'm pretty. All you had to do is give him like a little drop of
a little drop.
underwater of water breathing, and he'd be fine.
Perfect.
I also
He can totally breathe
remember
underwater too.
Maybe 4 or 5 sessions ago, you put him in a empty water canteen.
Oh, yeah, and
basically, like you
I have
emptied
plenty of
it
jars.
and put the cap on.
Tons of air inside there for him. He's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
I like to think that as Captain was drinking the potion of water breathing, a little bit of the potion traveled down his long beard, and Pupil was like, what is this?
His soup
And
catcher.
now he's swimming with us.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
You actually look over and like pupil's actually underwater, like doing a backstroke.
It's like this.
And just like blowing bubbles. Bloop. Bloop. Perfect. So you guys are heading back down the tunnel in which you came. You guys travel back. It takes you just a couple minutes because it wasn't that long of a tunnel. And as you get back, you do recognize there was the tunnel that you guys had originally come down from that leads to the rope and back up the hole. And then there was another tunnel that the other Sawagan. There were 6 Sawagan that attacked you. 3 came from this tunnel. 3 came from now the tunnel that is directly to your right.
All right. Well,
I'm going to start
swim that way.
swimming towards that one.
Start swimming down the tunnel. Do you have any light with you at all?
yes, I have light.
Boom, boom,
on
boom.
my-
Yes.
Taco lights.
Aqua lights.
So I've
He
got
has
vision.
light too.
Cool. Captain and Azar, what are you casting light upon?
What's the
What's
order
that?
of us going?
I don't know who's going first. Sounded like Bennett was
Alright,
already in the water and swimming.
I'll
I'm
take
in
the
front,
rear,
yeah.
so I'll cast light on my sword.
Sword. Right.
I've got it on my
Captain, you-
the end of my staff.
Perfect. All right. You guys are swimming forward.
will-
You start making it down the other tunnel. Everybody give me some swim checks. Just because there are like some stalactites and stalagmites. Simple swim check. There's no currents or anything in here right now. But just making sure you don't catch yourself. There are some jagged rocks and everything. As long as you get above
27.
5.
27.
Lockhart's like swimming
Cool.
feet first somehow. He looks really cool.
13.
15.
Yep.
16.
Yep. Perfect. You guys are able to get through.
Dirty
And you
20.
come to this dirty 20. You guys come to this another chamber. This one's actually a little bit bigger than the one that you guys were just in. And again, you kind of like look up towards the ceiling and you realize that there's no air pockets here as well too. But you guys are fine. You guys have all taken underwater breathing. You guys are good. It hasn't even been an hour yet. You know that this potion lasts for at least 12 hours. As you get into this chamber, you do notice that there is a tunnel directly ahead of you, maybe about 30 feet, darkened tunnel. And then you also notice that there is a kind of crack in the wall to your right. This area that you're currently in, it looks like there's some busted up boxes, and it looks like some grates and like pieces of ships and everything here as well too. Like you see, like kind of floating up towards the ceiling, you see like some logs of some masts and everything. And it looks like maybe some fabric from different flags as well. A couple broken panes of glass. Not a lot of stuff helpful in here. But you've got 2 other directions that you can move on to.
I'd like to swim down and check out all the debris, see if anything of interest is there.
checking it all and pretty much just looking through what is there. It looks just like that, Captain. It looks like just a bunch of debris, a couple broken
How big
chair
is that,
pieces. What's up?
Sorry. How
Oh,
big is
what
that
were you
crack that you said we passed? Like, is it
The one
long
you-
or like?
I mean, it's maybe about 6 feet wide. I mean, natural. It looks like as you kind of examine, it looks like it was a natural crack, but then it actually, like looking at it a little bit deeper, it looks like somebody actually like came in and like started breaking it up a little bit more to make it more of an accessible tunnel to get through.
Okay.
Hey, this is not Waterworld, Slit Lid. You hush your mouth. This is Pirates Siren song.
Trash
Your show was last
Daddy.
night. You have respect, Trash Daddy.
Hi, Trash Daddy.
Yes.
The I'm gonna swim down to Captain, like where he's like looking at the debris, and I'm gonna like look at it, look around, and like, how on earth did this get here? It's like-
No, you're talking. How do you talk underwater, Brent? You got to do it right.
Right. How did this get here?
Knowledge? Or what kind of knowledge check can we roll?
Knowledge local. I mean, if you want to. I mean, it's actually, you guys wouldn't even have to roll a knowledge check. I mean, a lot of times with haze, there could be. I mean, that there's currently where you're at. There are 2 other exits out of this cavern as well too. It could be underwater currents that have carried it. You do remember being in the cove itself, looking down like about 250, 300 feet underwater through that blue. You've seen pirate wrecks and everything as well too. That there were pieces of ships and everything. It could have gotten sucked up through another tunnel somewhere. But yeah, it just looks like pieces of ships and just debris. You also know, I mean, you could even maybe suspect as well too. I mean, Inkheart has been here. Maybe she brought some stuff with her as well too. You've already come across some Sawagan as well too. Maybe and you also were told by Shortstone that because he had gone after Inkheart's ship, that they had actually gotten attacked by Sawagan as well too, that their ship had gone down, and there were some other island chains around this main island that you guys made it to, that they actually kind of made it over to one of those, all the while where you guys were trying to escape the ghost ship too. A lot was going on for you guys, but tons of possibilities on how just all this debris had gotten.
Okay. What are Dustin? You are muted.
I'm muted. I have my harpoon in my hand while we're swimming.
Okay. Yeah,
So I don't have to use
you
an
had
action
already
to take
you had
it out.
already attached it. Yeah, you had it attached already. You're good.
Well,
Where are you guys going?
If there's nothing interesting about the debris, I want to check out this crack.
Sure. Yeah, as you kind of swim up to the crack, you see it goes about 10 feet, and then it opens into a smaller chamber. And as you're kind of looking around, it looks like there's some other boxes in here, and then it looks like there's like weapon racks kind of like stuck on the wall. There's like really rusted swords in here as well too. Looks like it could have been an armory at one point.
Still underwater,
What's up?
Still underwater though.
Yeah, still underwater. Just everything's just like really rusty. It almost like peeking in. It looks like an old armory. Give me a perception check really quick.
While the captain's doing that, can Aradia do a detect magic
Yeah.
inside this chamber? Wait, I assume everybody has gone in.
Yeah, we all.
The captain just said that he was moving towards and peeking inside this crack. You're not detecting any magic inside this room.
Okay.
13 for me.
13. As you're kind of looking around, like there's nothing that really catches your eye that much, except you kind of look down into the silt a little bit, and you see what looks like the shaft of something. You see like the base end of a shaft. It's gold, and it looks like it has kind of like this ornate red jewel that's been sharpened to a tip on it. But the rest of it looks like it's shoved down into the soot. But looking around, just like more boxes and broken, rusty weapons and armor and everything from what you can see. But then you also notice as you get a little bit closer that the room itself, it kind of starts curving off to the right side a little bit.
Okay. Well, I will detect magic to make sure this thing isn't magical. If that doesn't work, I'll hit it with my staff just to make sure it doesn't. That's the best way to disarm a trap is to just smack it, and then if that doesn't work, I'll try to pull it out.
Yeah, of course. You hit it, and as you hit it with your staff, just like this reverberation of hitting your wooden staff on this metal one, just kind of reverberates through the water, and then out of the corner of your eye, kind of around the corner, you see this giant crab just kind of like scurries out and just kind of looks and snaps its claws at you. Doesn't look like it's attacking, but it's just it's sitting there like looking at you.
Catch
And
the
this thing
Pokemon, Captain.
is massive. Yeah. The Kingler.
Do you have a Master Ball?
There and it's looking at you. What do you do, Captain?
I will tell you what I will do. I am going to see if I have anything helpful. Let's see here. I will.
I am going to be I'm going to be following the captain towards the crack. I'm not in there yet, but since I was close to him, I'm going to be coming up behind him.
I will keep an eye on the crab and slowly bend down and see what this thing is.
Yeah.
Grab the shaft. That's what I'm going to do.
Grabbing the shaft. Do you pull the shaft up?
I mean, I want to feel it first.
Feel the shaft. Yeah, it's cold.
You know, I want to give it
cold and hard.
Okay, I want to give it a couple tugs to make sure it's something that I can handle.
Okay.
Because if not, I'll get somebody else in here to deal with the shaft.
Well, as you actually pull it out of like the soot and everything, or the sediment, you actually pull out, and it looks like it's a trident. Captain. Like a golden trident, but looking at it a little bit closer, and you're doing it slowly as well too. This crab is just kind of like looking; it's not coming at you, but it's just sitting there as you slowly just kind of keeping your eye on it, pulling this trident out. You can actually see that the gold shaft itself, it looks like it's got this giant crack through it.
Okay, so it's a gold shafted trident.
Yes, it is. It looks like it is a. If you would like, you could give me a not a spellcraft. I don't want spellcraft. Actually, just checking out. If you want to examine it a little bit, you can actually tell that it is a masterwork trident, but it has the broken condition. So unfortunately, this shaft is probably not something that you can handle, Captain. You'd have to give it to somebody who can handle shafts like this, like Lockhart or Bennett or Azara.
Sure.
They're good at handling shafts.
Whoa.
Okay. Well, I mean, all right. Is Bennett here?
You kind of look back and Bennett is. Yeah, Bennett actually kind of starts swimming up like right behind you.
Okay. Be careful and you don't want to get crabbed.
You do that so well.
What? Where?
It's right there. Now listen. This shaft that I discovered is very nice, but it is broken, so we must have handled the shaft with care. It is a good life lesson, really.
Aye, Captain.
And I'll hand the trident over to him.
So now you have a masterwork trident with the broken condition.
Yeah,
I mean, this one is in good shape. Like I said, it's made out of gold. There's just you can find somebody to repair it for you. It could be useful, or you could try to sell it off to somebody as well too. But hey, found something kind of cool. As you kind of like hand it slowly kind of back to him, that crab just kind of starts creeping its way out kind of towards you a little bit, just kind of looks at you, watches you for a second, notices that you're not being aggressive towards it or anything, and then you see it just kind of starts slinking sideways back around the corner.
So there's another tunnel?
From the big room, yes. You guys went into the crack. There is another tunnel across on the other side of this room from you guys.
I see. Okay.
There might be something behind the crowd in this level. I'm very curious.
I'm curious too, but it seems a little dangerous, but with just the two of us.
How big is this crab?
It's big. It's a large crab. Like think Kingler from Pokemon. I mean, it's a big crab. Krabby's tiny, but Kingler's big. like the size of a horse.
Big crab. Let's see what
do I remember if anybody has mending in our group by chance? Is that something that I would know of?
Probably not. Nobody's ever used mending,
Probably
so
Nobody
And it knows
here
nothing
has
about mending.
nobody currently here
know-
has mending.
I know I can't do
Maybe
it.
somebody on the
I
ship.
do have craft weapon, so maybe I could fix it, just not in a very magical way.
I can do a spell once a day from any spell book, pretty much. So I possibly could do it.
I mean, if you want to use that for a cantrip, I would be fine with you wasting that ability on a cantrip. Totally fine. Totally fine.
Fine. Why don't we go ask what's her face on the boat?
What's her face?
Sandara.
Mr. Ishmael, do you have any rations of any kind? Have you brought food?
That would be a no. I do have, however, a couple of potions of this perception stuff that makes you smell really bad. I don't know if the potion itself smells bad, though. It might be something that a crab might like dead matter in the water.
So as you
Whose
guys are
butt's
kind
in front
of
of me?
trying to, well, I was going to ask, what are the rest of you guys doing?
I don't know. I want to know who's in front of me. Who's in front of me?
Well, the captain and Bennett, it's not a very long crack in the wall to get into this room. You see Bennett's butt, but then the rest of you guys are still in this back room. What are you guys doing?
We're not swimming though, right?
I mean, you guys are underwater. I mean, you guys are treading. I mean, you guys can float.
Treading
there as
water.
well, too. Yeah.
I'd be
You want
treading,
to?
and I'm just gonna look at whoever's next to me. And go, what is going on? Why are they taking so long?
You gotta say it right.
We're treading water. We're not underwater. Adam just said.
You're treading water, in water.
No, we're
you're
underwater.
What is going on? Everyone is taking.
There you go.
Right. Oh, can you fetch me the cards on the dead body?
As you're all talking, you feel this light hit all of your bodies, and you can talk naturally now underwater. It's pretty
What? Fetch you what?
I heard something about a shaft.
Yes, it's a very nice shaft, slightly broken, but I've given I've given my shaft to Mr. Ishmael, so it is his cross to bear now. I wish that someone would grab one of the dead Sahagwin. I think this will help. There's a large crab in this room.
You want bait?
Yes, exactly.
Is there a Schwagen, Adam?
There's 6 dead ones that we killed earlier.
Yeah,
It's
back in the
same-
room that you guys
okay.
just came from. Yeah.
I
can't believe I just did that all muted. God damn it.
Oh
So,
no!
I was saying Lockhart walks up and he's like, oh, everyone looks at him and he's like, well, I like doing that.
Zora swims back. She grabs the body of a swag and swims back to the room.
I kind of push it through the water
push it
towards
in.
the captain.
As you do,
Bennett.
you're kind of watching Captain, and you see this claw come out and grab onto it as the crab scurries back out sideways, and you see it just kind of rip the body to shreds, and it starts pulling it towards its mouth and everything.
Good call, Captain.
Okay, now, Mr. Ishmael, quickly. See what's around the corner.
Okay. All right. I'll swim in.
You're a dexterous young man. Go for it.
Swims in, and you peek around the corner, and it goes back 5 feet, and there's some rocks and some more. It looks like a suit of armor that's just completely ripped to shreds and just completely rusty.
Okay.
You do a
As
quick
quickly as I
glance,
can,
Bennett. Yeah,
Yeah.
not a lot more left in here, unfortunately. Everything else outside of this trident you guys found is pretty not usable, unfortunately.
I feel like we should thank the crab for his services and maybe give him another body and then be on our way.
Cool. So we're gonna wait like another 5 minutes while somebody swims back to get another body, and then swims it back, and then feeds it to the crab again. The crab like is now double fisting Sawagan bodies, as it's just like like munching. It's like in a ballpark game.
Yeah. That will come back. Good karma is a good thing.
Yes. I was hoping we would get more out of that room, but I guess we were shafted. All right, let's continue.
As you go to leave Bennett, and that other body is swimming there, you actually feel like something grab your foot as you look back, and the crab has a hold of your foot. It's not crushing it, but it reaches its one of its claws up to you, and it opens it. And tucked like back inside of it, you see something shiny. Get it?
I'm
Shining.
going.
Sorry.
Oh boy.
Use your magic, Bennett.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. All right. It's like really far in.
Yeah, I mean, you'd
I'm
have to
gonna,
go up about like elbow length to like try to grab it.
All right. Okay. What I'm gonna do, I'm going to take the trident so that the fork is like this, and then I'm going to reach my hand through one of them, back through, and then try to grab it. So in case he does like close it, hopefully the trident will keep it from closing around my arm.
I think that's the smartest thing I've ever seen Bennett do.
Yeah, you reach back, you're able to latch onto it, and you find as you pull it back that the crab, like, it doesn't snap down on your hand. As you pull it out, it closes its claw, and it grabs the Sawagan body, and it goes back to eating it. And in your hand, you actually have like this silver pendant that it looks like it has at the bottom of it like a ruby red cross on it. And on the back side of it, it says, "To my love, Jonathan."
To my love, Jonathan.
To my love, Jonathan. May you be safe on your journey out to sea.
Oh,
I don't feel like Jonathan wasn't that safe.
This crab is Jonathan. Jonathan got turned into this crab.
Lockhart says that the crab like looks around and goes up and hugs him. Woo! Yeah, you guys found Jonathan. Congratulations.
We need to save him.
Eating. Yeah, goes back to eating.
All right. Yeah, I will take I'm gonna tuck it in one of my pockets. That's kind of.
You're gonna tuck your shaft?
No.
Oh boy.
The silver cross with a ruby in it. Put that.
Shaft isn't gonna fit in one of those pockets. It's huge.
It's a big shaft. It's at least a 6 foot long shaft. What are you guys doing?
I have mime pockets.
I guess I'll go down the other passageway that was directly across the one we entered from.
Yeah, sure. Across the opposite side, it is you actually notice that this tunnel starts like leading downwards a little bit, and this one goes as soon as you go down, you notice that it kind of starts curving, and you guys are swimming for at least about a minute and a half through this. It's really dark. It's dark down here, but you guys have enough light. So the water is a little bit more clear here as well too. A lot of the dirtier stuff was from a lot of the dirt falling into the one room. Then the other room is now filled with blood and dead bodies. Now the room with the crab, there's blood and dead bodies as well too. But this tunnel starts curving, and then you see it open up into another cavern.
Does it curve to the right or to the left?
It's almost like, think of almost like a half, as you guys are like swimming through, it starts curving to the left, almost like a half moon as you pop out into another cavern. Who's actually in the lead on this one?
Not a radio.
Bennett. I'll lead. Lockhart will lead.
Lockhart is up
right
front.
Behind Lockhart.
Sure. As you guys kind of start swimming through, Lockhart with some light from the captain. You notice this room as you start getting closer to the opening of this cavern. You can see into this cavern. It's not as big as the cavern you guys were in before, but as you kind of glance around, you see this shape swim by you. And I need everybody to roll me some initiative.
Oh.
I knew there'd be
perception
sharks.
check?
I said in my head there'd be
Perception check?
sharks. And here, God, the moment he said blood in the water, I was like, oh, blood in the water.
13.
So hold on a second. Let me see. Me, Captain, what'd you get?
13.
13. Eek.
6.
6. Aradia.
Sorry, I have to math. 18 plus perception. Nope. Initiative.
Initiative.
Dirty 20. Dirty
20. Azara.
7.
7. Lockhart.
I'm in the back.
17.
17. Bennett.
11.
11. Wow.
What would Scooby do? Just said the sharks are armed with boulders and they're here to fight back.
No.
Payback time.
This is what we get.
They're
when
all looking
Seth
at Bennett.
goes rogue.
Yeah, I
What's
guess
up?
Right.
the
The rest
You're
of
gonna
you
leave
guys
all of
are
us alone.
totally.
No.
The rest of you guys are totally fine. Except
I would like to swim back and leave Bennett by himself if these are
Right,
sharks holding boulders.
So
It's our
Aradia,
part.
you are.
That's all.
So now this tunnel is
Oh,
is one. Give me a. So we had Lockhart in the front. We had Captain. Who was behind the Captain?
I can go
Me.
behind the
Bennett.
captain.
Bennett was behind the Captain. Aradia, Eek,
Or
Azara,
not.
were you?
Okay.
I'm on the back.
Zara's in the back. Eek and Aradia in between. Aradia, you are the first one to act. You didn't see anything happen because you are still currently in this tunnel. But you were the first one to go. You do notice
Has
that
everyone
everybody has
stopped?
stopped. Yes, everybody has stopped. You see Bennett, but
say-
Captain's in front of him.
There are 4 people ahead of me.
3 people ahead of you. You got Bennett, but
And how
Captain,
wide
and
is
then Lockhart.
this path?
This one's maybe about 5 feet wide. You can try to squeeze by everybody if you want to. It's not as wide as some of the
Yeah.
other tunnels, but you can definitely squeeze
I'm
by.
being a door again.
I really hate it when we're in a single file line because I can't do anything.
Squeeze by. There's enough. There is enough room to squeeze by. You just can't go 2 abreast like you guys had been going. This tunnel's a little.
Oh. I think
Oh.
Adam just froze.
Oh no.
Adam just
Stream
fell asleep.
frozen?
Or he's falling asleep.
Yeah, I think pretty sure he's sleeping.
I think Dustin,
Stream's
you're
not
muted. I
frozen.
don't hear you on the stream.
Dustin's muted.
Yeah, we can hear you in the far back room.
I was just saying that we should be like, everyone quickly roll dice and say that you hit and did so much damage and all the sharks
Yes.
are dead. By the time Adam comes back, I'm like, oh, sorry. Too late, Adam. We've already
Oh,
destroyed all of your little sharks.
I've got 3 people. It's okay. It'll give me time to think. If I got 3 people ahead of me, what I can and can't.
I wish
do
I had
until
speak with
Jane comes
animals to
back.
barter a deal for Bennett's life.
You just
All I
trade,
want
trades.
are freaking
some
sharks
Hogman
with
bodies.
freaking boulders on their heads.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's our fault for arming these sharks. They would be unarmed if Bennett didn't give
Yeah.
them boulders.
There he is.
Boulders.
You're back, Adam.
Yeah.
You're back.
Yeah. That was the bad karma. I was trying to offset it with the good karma by helping the crab. So I should be good now, right?
OBS went completely
Well, how many
on me.
boulders to how many crabs did you help?
He dropped 2 boulders.
I threw
Wow,
2
you're
boulders.
still
Yeah.
you're still in the negative. You gotta
All right,
find
Aradia, what were you doing?
All right. Can I free action say what's the hold up? Is there a blockage or something?
You
and she'll
can
try
hold your
to-
turn until it breaks up. You'll just move in initiative order.
Hmm.
Well, up to you.
So if you have a plan and want like an open space, you just have to hold.
Don't have
until
a
the
plan. I
people-
just know that she shouldn't go first without knowing exactly
But you can
what's
still
going on.
hold.
So I
You
will.
can still hold.
Yeah, you can
You can
still
hold.
hold.
I will hold. I
That's
will
fine.
hold.
You
Go
can totally
later.
hold. Lockhart, that takes us to you. Sure enough, Lockhart, you were absolutely correct. The shape that swam by you was indeed a hammerhead shark that just swam over to your right inside of this chamber. You also notice that there are two Sahuagin as well, too, on the opposite side of this chamber. Looks like both they have gotten their tridents ready. They see you as they watch the shark swim by. It is your turn. What do you do?
How big is this
Sahuagin
chamber?
have teamed up with the sharks. Yes.
Adam,
this chamber is slightly smaller than the one that you guys had seen before. Captain, you can kind of see across. It's maybe about 25 feet across, 25, 30 feet across. Last one was a little bit bigger than this one. But they are currently on the opposite side, but there is a hammerhead shark in here as well, too. Lockhart, like I said, it is your turn. Go for it.
Okay. Him seeing everything, immediately gotta reach back, put his hand on Captain's chest, and emanates shield onto his body. So like a purple aura completely surrounds him. That's a +4 to your AC, Rossi. And then he is going to move up in basically like blocking position to not let them pass while the group. So he'll move 15 feet in and let the group sort themselves out.
Sure. Yeah. So, Captain, you got some protection from the Lockhart, and Captain, it is actually your turn. Radia, you said you were now Radia too, because actually we haven't dealt with this that much as well too in initiative. In initiative, you can then, because you're holding your turn, you can go whenever you want as well too.
Okay.
So once these guys
She's not
do move,
ready
you
yet.
could say that's
But
fine. If everybody moves out of the way, you could be like, cool, I want to go ahead and put myself into initiative here. So totally up to you. Captain, it is now your turn.
Well. I think I am going to use my staff to cast Magic Missile.
That's Magic Missile. Are you aiming for a Sahuagin or Actually, from where you're at, because you are still in the tunnel a little bit, you can see the two Sahuagin across the way. You cannot see the shark that swam off to the side. But you can totally try to hit one of them. Or not try to. I mean, you would obviously hit one of them if you so desire.
Okay. I am...
you want to.
I'm going to swim out so I'm not blocking the tunnel. So I'll just swim out a little bit into the side, directly to the side, so my back's to the wall.
Sure.
And then I will cast Magic Missile. Does it hit?
Magic. Definitely does. Magic Missile is an auto hit, Captain. What are you aiming at? I know that.
I'm gonna aim at one of the Sahuagin.
At one of them, yeah, sure. Give me 3d4, correct? Magic Missile. Pew pew pew. Give me your damage, Captain.
How many is it? 3d4?
3d4, I do believe. Magic Missile.
Wow. There's 5 force damage, so... Suck on that, Wagon.
Booyakashas! The Sahuagin. Magic Missile flies through the water and hits them. He kind of gets jolted back just slightly. Still Trident ready in his hand, ready to come and now murder you. So very, very good. Bennett, it is now your turn. You are also the next one in line. The Captain and Lockhart have now both moved out of the way for you.
All right, well then I will move out into the space. And can I look up to see is there a roof or because I have a hunch. And I'm curious.
So as you look through, just like a lot of the other tunnels, there is no air bubble up there. This is a completely waterlogged cave.
Okay.
But you do see two Sahuagin across the way. Captain nailed one, and then off to the right. Now, Bennett, you guys have actually been pretty fortunate enough being out on the seas, especially on your own crew, even when you guys were shanghaied into it as well too. Bennett, this you've dealt with a couple sharks. You tried to hit one with a rock. This one doesn't look like the one you tried to hit with a rock, but it is a shark. It looks nasty.
Cool.
Give me your shaft.
Been bitten by them before. I'm going to kind of move out kind of closer to where the shark is. And we haven't really done this in this too much either. can I like defensively kind of hold
You wanna
the
go, like-
trident out to kind of
You can
like if it
you can
attacks,
do
kind
a
of-
reaction. You can do a reaction to basically, if they do this, then I do that. But
Yes,
unless you
so
have
I'm
like
gonna
a
get closer.
feat for defensive measures, I don't think you can.
Okay. I want to. Yes, I want to kind of move over to where the shark is, and like if the shark comes at me or by me, I'm gonna stab it.
All right,
With the
try
trident.
to stab it with your shaft. Sounds good. Aradia, I will say you now have open way down the rest of the tunnel.
And quick question
Okay,
for
she's
Aradia.
going to.
Did Aradia, do you still have your trident that you picked up from the Swagan earlier,
Sure do.
even though like you can't technically use it? Okay. I just
I can use it actually. I have the stats for it. The DM gave them to me.
say what?
Well, you can
Say-
use it. You'll just take a negative on your attacks because you're not proficient with the
Mhm.
weapon. But yes, you can still attack with it for sure.
Mm-hmm. That's on my back.
What
It's
does it-
strapped.
What does a trident do as far as attack?
1d6. 1d6.
D6.
Orcs,
Okay.
people.
-2 for me.
Gotcha.
Aradia is going to swim forward, and as she enters this chamber, will she get eyes on the creatures that are in there?
Yeah, you can definitely see them. You are able, with your movement in the water, you can get right up to the edge of this room because you're a little bit farther back. The rest of them were at least able to disperse into the room. You're able to get right up to the edge of the tunnel into this underwater cavern. But yes, you can
So
see
I'm
all the
inside.
creatures.
I'm inside it. I'm not a doorway to anybody else coming in.
I mean, you would be a doorway to Azara and Eek, but they're farther back in the end of the line. They'll have to swim. They'll be able to swim up farther. They won't be able to get into the room unless they use a full action and then try to push through you, if they so desire.
Okay.
But yes, you are able to get all the way up to the chamber.
As I peek into the chamber, am I at least 30 feet away from one of the Swagans?
Yeah, of course. What are you gonna try to
As
do?
soon as she spots one of them, rage fills her, and she will narrow her eyes at the one she sees, and she will cast Evil Eye on the Swagan.
Ooh, evil
If
eye.
you can make me a will save.
Sure can. Well, looks like he is evil eyed. That was a 5 on the die, so that's definitely not going to do
Ooh.
it. There are 2. There's one on the left, one on the right. The one on the left looks like it looks a little scuffed up on the chest. Perhaps maybe it's already taken a little bit of damage. Are you aiming for that one or the one next to it?
The one next to it. The
One next
fresh
to it.
one.
Yeah, the fresh one is evil eyed. Very good. So evil eyed.
So,
What do you want it
-2
to
to your AC.
Oh.
-2 to your AC ability checks, attack rolls, saves, skill checks, and it will last 9 rounds? 3 plus my intelligence.
Wow.
No, 7 rounds, I'm sorry.
Rounds. Boo, booty, 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 booty,
I will
booty.
mark it right
All
now.
right, excellent. Radia swims up. So Radia is now in that portion. Doki, excellent. My turn. Very, very good. The Sawalgan swim forward. One is going to try to stab at Lockhart. The other one is going to try to stab at the captain. Oh my god! Really? I rolled natural ones for both of them.
Hey!
They go for like a double stab and like they just were not ready for all of us that happened. They both like pull their blades in or like go to like stab you guys and like their blades actually like connect and get twisted. So now they
Awkward.
have to use an action to try to pull their tridents apart. That really sucks.
Yay.
The shark is then going to swim by and it sees the closest thing next to it as it turns around. It's going to be Bennett. Bennett, you will get an attack with this. Your broken condition, you will get a -2 on your attack because it does have the broken condition. And also be a -2 on your damage rolls as well. And you can only score a critical hit on a natural 20 with it. So, yeah.
Ah, well, I guess that's what I'll roll then.
Critical, so
Sounds
that's
like
it. That's it.
sounds like a plan.
Yep.
So
All right,
who
go ahead
Who is
and give me
this
my
confident
rolls.
man?
Try to bite you.
I killed a lot of stuff last time. All right, so BAB plus stuff -2. Yep, kind of like how it is normally. All right, that was not great. That is. Oh, there it is. 8.
No, like you're not used to this type of weapon. So you like go to like hit the shark.
No,
You're not ready for something long and hard. You're used to short and pointy. As it's able to like maneuver around you, like glance off of like the side of its body as its jaws just open up as it tries to take a chunk out of you, Bennett. Well, you know what? It's okay. It misses you too. I'm guessing with a 14 does not hit you. If I remember correct.
Nope.
Not going to be able to hit you at all. Perfect. My guys are absolutely garbage. I know how Blake feels now when his guys can't do jack shit on his ship. So then that's going to take us next in the order. Azara, you're at the back of the line. Eek is currently right next to you. You could, if you wanted to, you could hold your turn, let Eek go before you so he can swim forward, and then you could take your turn after him. Totally up to you. Or you could squeeze by Eek as well.
Yeah, I'll look over at Eek and I'll go, and then I'll wait.
Go! Love it. And Eek, it is your turn.
Wait, yeah, okay, I guess I'll go forward. Can Eek swim up to what? Is there an opponent that Eek can swim up to?
So you are a little bit farther into, because remember, swimming, you're also at half speed with it as well, too. You would actually have to use a full round because everybody else was in front of you to get all the way up to the edge of the cave. And unfortunately, that would be your entire move to get there. So Radia is currently.
Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just swim as far as I can.
Actually try to.
And then if anything comes towards me, I'm going to stab him with my spear.
Well, you're getting closer to it. There's a body in front of you. It's a Radia. You could totally try to stab her with your spear. That's totally fine.
Any bad guys?
Oh, okay, any bad guys. Okay,
any
bad guys.
enemies?
Any enemies? See enemies. Perfect, Azara.
Enemies.
Sure, Azara, you can do the same thing. You want to swim all the way up, get right behind Eek.
Mm-hmm.
It's weapon drawn back to the top of the round. We've got Lockhart. You notice both these Swagans, their tridents are just interconnected. There's a shark that just tried to bite Bennett. Bennett tried to shove a trident in its face. Your go. You have to unmute yourself first, bro.
Yes, hello, I hate my life.
I hate your life.
Are they so?
You're close enough to try to hit one for sure. Okay.
Yeah. So if I shift to the right, like do a 10-foot swim, can I get them in a line?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because you guys were just kind of like bloop bloop bloop, like out the sides. Yeah, you can totally get to a point where the two of them are in a line with one another for sure.
Sweet. So Lockhart doesn't pull Heartwall out. You guys can all immediately notice that. Like he always has a sword, and he doesn't touch it at all. Reaches his hand out, and I'm gonna need a will save for both of them.
Gross. Will save. Nasty.
Vivid colors.
Highest one is 15.
That is a fail on both then, as they are unconscious, blinded, and stunned with color spray.
Yeah, get all those color sprays out of the way now, you jerks. As they can't do anything. They're like, ah.
6 rounds. 6 rounds.
They just kind of float there. Captain, it is your turn. Lockhart just stole your move. The two of them are floating there. You could totally go up and try to pull out a dagger and coup de grace one. There's a shark over next to Bennett as well, too. That is your turn.
Okay. I mean, who's closer, the Sahagwan or the shark?
Sawagan would be closer. The Sawagan would be closer to you. The shark is more to the right side of the cave. You and Lockhart, I do believe, kind of dipped out to the left a little bit.
I will swing forward then and whip out my dagger.
Whip out your dagger. Automatic crit. Roll me some damage.
Automatic crit, you say? Well,
yes, because they're unconscious and they're floating. Somebody entered their chambers unannounced and is now murdering them.
6 damage.
You make it sound like we're the bad guys.
Yeah, they didn't pay their rent.
Didn't pay the rent. Yeah. Bennett, is now your turn. That shark like came up to you. It hasn't like swam by, but it came up because it maneuvered by trying to get you. It's still like right there next to you.
Okay. I'm going to pull out my my magical vicious dagger.
And you drop your
And-
broken trident.
Can I hold it with one hand? Can I like hold the trident kind of off to one hand?
Is a trident. Let me see if a trident is a two-handed weapon. Don't believe
If
yeah,
it's
to-
broken,
to
can it be
attack with it?
wielded with one hand?
Like, if I just like hold it out, I'm not wielding. I'm just like holding it. Can I hold it with one hand? And then
That's what I'm
wield
checking for
my-
you. It is martial. It is spear. It can be thrown. Yeah, it's a 4-foot long shaft. So yeah, you could essentially hold it in one hand. So yes, you are okay with holding it in the hand.
So I'm going to kind of pull it back. I'm going to pull out my vicious dagger, and I'm going to try to stab the shark.
Stab the shark. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm going
Stab
to try
him in
the
the shark.
weapons that I know.
Okie doke.
And the vicious dagger is that. Really? I'm going to use my platinum piece because that was a
reroll?
natural one.
Huh.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
rerolling.
Bennett using some
Oh,
platinum
roll that.
pieces.
that was
Yay.
Awful. Okay. Vicious dagger. Okay, so that's that. Okay, that's better. 17.
17 will be a hit on my shark.
Shit.
Just a shark, bro, and you
Alright.
got to come up and stab my shark. It's rude.
He attacked me
Mean.
first.
Where will it
you
end with Bennett?
You entered his chambers. You're in his territory. You're the bad guy here.
He didn't pay his rent either. All right. That is 12 points of piercing damage.
12 points of piercing damage. Ooh, ouchie, ouchie. Oops, wrong number. Okay, yeah, and you said that was with your dagger, right?
That was with my dagger, my vicious
Did you
dagger.
Did you do double attack with it, or did
No,
you just swing with your dagger?
I only pulled one dagger out, so I didn't drop the.
That's totally fine.
trident,
You are a
so-
fighter. You do have an additional attack if you want to attack with your dagger.
I do. You're right.
You do have a
I
second
forgot
attack.
about that.
That's right. You're
I
the
do
only
a
one that
second
has
attack.
it right now.
I'm
Take it.
taking
Go for
that
it.
second attack.
Did you not want it? I hope you not
I don't
want
have
it.
any more platinum pieces, so
There
I
he
don't know what-
is.
Oh no.
Was that a one? Was that a one or was it a two?
yes, that was a one. That was definitely.
Yeah,
a
so
one.
you stab the shark once and you go to stab it again, but you've got this trident in your hand. You don't know what to do with it, and like you clip like your hand with it, and it forces you to drop your dagger, and your dagger then starts sinking to the bottom.
My prediction's coming true. I hate it when I'm right.
All right, after Bennett, it is Aradia. Aradia, you
You
see
on the
two of these creatures
sidelines.
unconscious, and you have flashbacks to just earlier, not 30 minutes ago, where there was an unconscious Sawagan as you took it in your hand. What do? Two of them are just floating there. One of them is bleeding out currently. It's still breathing. What do you do?
Okay. But they're both unconscious.
Yeah, yes, they're both unconscious.
Just wanted to drive that point in. All right. She is going to use.
Hope you fail. They're gonna wake up and eat you.
I don't know if I can use this. I was going to use bleed on it, but I think it has to be down to 0 hit points, and I don't think that creature is down to 0 hit points.
I mean, I don't know.
All right. She is going to. First of all, she's going to go ahead and move through the entrance
Okay.
of the chamber.
Open it up for
So she's going to go,
Ethan and
for
Azar.
the people
Cool.
behind her. And she knows
Ah,
that there's not. Where is Bennett in proximity to her? No, where's Lockhart in proximity to her?
Lockhart's like to the left, Bennett's to the right. Captain is also, I do believe, to the left as well too.
Okay.
You
I'd like
can
to
just
get
swim forward.
myself. Yeah, I'm gonna swim to next to Lockhart, just so I'm not in the way of like
Sure.
the fighters doing their thing and also not in the way of the entrance. And I'll put my hand on Lockhart's shoulder, and I say, as I motion with my chin towards the Swagans, and I'll say, "Kill them all," and I'll place guidance on Lockhart.
Guidance on Lockhart. Excellent. Lockhart and
Yeah.
guidance fied.
I have
Eek,
a
your
quick
turn.
question.
Yes.
I have a quick question.
Mhm.
I forgot what the question was. Go ahead.
Well, we'll come back to you. Eek, it is your turn. Eek, you're at the front of the cave. Radio moved out of the way. 2 Swagan are just laying there. One is bleeding out. They're both unconscious. And there's a shark to the right with Bennett that is also bleeding currently.
Wait, there's like, can I swim up? What is the closest enemy to me? A sleeping
The
Swagan,
Swagan.
right?
Leaving Swagan.
All right.
Yep.
I'm gonna swim up to that Swagan, and I'm gonna
One
stab
that's
him.
One that's bleeding or not bleeding?
Is one of them? Are both of them asleep, or just one of them asleep?
Both of them are unconscious. One of them is bleeding.
I'll go up and stab the bleeding one.
Stab the bleeding one. Critical hit. Congratulations.
Critical hit, so automatically get double the dice.
Double
on it,
damage.
Or double damage.
Double damage.
12 points of damage.
Awesome. It had 4 left. How do you kill it?
Nice.
He just swims up and goes, aha! And just stabs him in the face and goes,
Stabs
oh!
it.
That was a little, it's stuck. He's trying to pull the harpoon out. He's finally like puts his foot on the Schwagen, kind of like pulls out the
Pulls through
harpoon.
all
and just
all
kind of
sorts of blood and everything.
goo and
Cool.
gore.
Azara, the tunnel is now open for you to swim into the room. You see just
I
blood
swim.
starting everywhere. You swim everywhere. There's a Swagan that's just kind of like floating there. There's a shark next
Oh,
to Bennett.
lovely.
What do you do?
I push it. Is there a shark? The shark near me?
There's a shark and there's a unconscious Swagan.
I will go fight the shark because it's the active
Oh.
thing.
She goes to fight the shark. You can make it over to the shark. It's not that far away from you. You make an attack against the shark that Bennett has been
Yes.
fighting.
With my cutlass. Can I sing underwater? Yeah, I'm gonna sing.
What's it sound like when you sing underwater?
I thought you said we couldn't do it anymore. You said that.
I wanna
it-
hear-
You know.
That was talking. I never said anything about swinging.
There you go. Lockhart's got it.
Start
18.
singing. 18's a hit. Give me some damage, butcher.
Right. Where's my? I haven't done this in a while. 26.
Just last week.
7. Here we go. 7 plus 5. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12.
How'd he kill the shark, butcher?
Noise.
I slash through the head.
Oh,
And all you have left is just the head of the hammer just floating.
The head of a hammer. Head of a hammer. Yep. No longer driving any nails in. That's very sad. Takes us back to the top. Lockhart, there is another Swagan just like sitting there. Shark is dead. One Swagan's dead. You can move up to the other one and just it's still asleep and unconscious. That's the kind of person you are. Totally fine. Totally fine.
Lockhart's going to look at Captain and then kind of like nod his head. You want to?
like stab the sleeping.
You want to? Yeah. You want to? You want? No.
Want a Fanta?
Want to?
So Lockhart holds his turn.
Yes.
Lockhart holds his turn. Captain, it is your go. As Lockhart is like, there's another
Okay,
floating Swagan there.
I'll stab.
All right, critical hit. Give me damage.
5 damage.
5 points of damage. And so it like starts moving around a little bit and everything. Bennett, it's your turn. The shark is dead. Swagan's dead. There's another one. You just see the captain like stabbing it with a dagger.
Yeah. He's got it. I'm gonna try to find my dagger that I dropped.
Yeah,
In
you
most
swim down. It's
Embarrassing
about 10
fashion.
It's like 10 feet below you. So you swim down. You can pick up your dagger. Perfect.
Yeah.
Aradia. There's another sleeping Swagan there. Captain stabbing it.
Did it wake up from the captain stabbing it?
No.
No.
I mean, it's like it's flailing around a little bit. I mean, it's unconscious.
Having
It's
a very
blind.
bad
It's
day.
just deaf, dumb, and stupid.
Oh.
All right. She'll swim up to it. As she swims up to it, she will take one of her daggers from her belt. And as she gets in range, she will try to drive the dagger into his heart.
Oh, look at that critical hit! Give me all your damage.
Oh, what do I get with my dagger?
Hope you get 2. It's a D4 plus nothing because
Yeah,
you got
it's
no
little.
strength. Hope you roll.
She's
a 1.
little.
Aw.
A D4. Oh. 3 points of damage.
Oh,
You rolled a 3. So that's a total of 6
Yeah, I
because
rolled
it
a
is
3.
doubled.
Oh, 6
Yep.
points of damage.
Yep, still kind of there. Eek, it's your turn. You see another Swagan just sitting there. Everybody's just kind of going, what? What?
Lockhart
you
would
wanna
like to go
Okay.
now. Yeah, I do want to go.
Lockhart's
Lockhart like kind of like sighs behind him. He's like, I really wanted them to get this, and he swims up, and he just decks the so he casts Stone Fist. And you guys just see this like giant Hellboy fist come crashing into the dude's face. Let me see. It's 1d6.
Critical hit. Look at that. Look at that.
12 points cut in half, 6 points.
6 points. It only had 4 left as well, too. How do you kill this thing with your stone fist, Lockhart?
You just like see the like skull concave into the brain itself, and I just
Yeah. Sure. Yep. Congratulations. You guys have put uncontrified and murdered. You guys are cowards. Can't fight these things without making them unconscious. Swagan and a dead shark. As you guys are looking around this area as well, too, you do notice that there are 2 more tunnels. One is leading to the right and immediately starts to curve. And then there's another one leading to your left. It looks kind of like it's a straight shot for a little bit, and it kind of curves off to the left slightly.
Before we go anywhere, I want to check the Swagans to see if they have any rent money.
Ain't got no rent money. Swagan ain't got no rent money. You go away. You go away.
As they
That's what I
float down, Lockhart goes, "You've been evicted by the Siren songs."
I hate it. That's really dumb. I take my laugh, my snicker back. Where do you guys go? Right or left?
To the right.
Going to the right. As you start to go to the right, you notice that this tunnel, as it curves to the right, maybe about 10 feet, you notice it goes straight down. Deeper into the bedrock.
Okay. I will head downwards.
Captain starts heading downward. Downward, said the captain. As you make your way down, as you make your way down, it looks like it goes maybe downward about 40 feet before then it kind of kicks you out into this massive room, Captain. You start looking around in this room. The water of this cavern is murky with a haze of fresh blood and gobbets of flesh float in the water. You can see that there are currently the bodies of. Actually, give me a knowledge local check, Captain, as you kind of peek out, because you see body parts of different creatures floating in the room.
25.
Yes, you see what looks like bodies and pieces of moray eels. You see that the head of a moray eel float by, and then also pieces of what are called lakothas, which are very somewhat similar to Sawagan, but they're more fish-like. Whereas Sawagan are very like sinewy and everything. These creatures tend to be a little bit beefier, not as sharp of teeth, but they have a lot more fins. They're actually very vibrantly orange colored. And you notice as a torso kind of like starts falling from what looks like to be the ceiling of this, you notice a ornate chest piece on it, or just like some leather with an ornate like golden what do we say, a golden plate that has a it looks like the sail of a fish on it. And as you kind of look through the rest of the water, you notice 12 other Sahuagin ripping into these bodies. And as your light passes into this cavern, Captain, all eyes go directly on you.
Shit.
And we're going to go ahead and take our mid-show break here, friends. It was a great place for us to
it's fine.
stop for right
fine.
now, friends. It'll be totally
it's all good.
fine.
All good.
It'll be fine. You guys will probably just blind them and just go up and be like,
Yep,
we're so
that's
cool. We
exactly.
just blind you and then
Yeah.
we murder you. We're going to fight you at all.
Mhm.
A bunch of sissies. That's right.
Wow.
Rossi, you have color sprayed prepared, right? Because I do, and we could just end this real fast.
Color spread off.
End it
I
now.
want you to do the thing where you go back to back and you like point at the same
Yeah.
time.
It's like Iron Man and Pepper Potts in like Endgame, where they're just back to back. Yeah, totally got it.
Exactly.
I hate you guys, love you guys. All right, friends, we're gonna take a quick little break, maybe about 8 minutes long. Go grab yourself a drink. Go take a pee if you need to. Go let your dogs out. We'll be back in about 8 minutes. See you guys soon.
Who let the dogs out?
Maybe. Oh wow, my whole thing is not working.
Yep.
We
Wow,
just
my
here.
side- Okay, well, you know what? We're gonna
Take
okay,
the picture
everybody.
already.
You know what? Actually, here's what we'll do. My thing is currently not working. I want you guys to go ahead and just chat with chat for a minute while I can try to break this up. See if we actually get a mid-show break.
Chat with chat.
Chat with chat,
I
everybody.
believe
Let's see if
Harry
anyone's-
K. I
Read
believe
the
have
comment.
spelled Sahuagin correctly. Sahuagin. Sahuagin.
I don't know if you spelled
I
it
think it's
correctly.
that
You know
second
what?
spelling is correct.
The second one, yes. Sahuagin.
Of course, it is
Yeah.
one of those words that you're kind of like, shouldn't it be like, if it's spelled phonetically, like SW Hagen kind of a thing?
So Huagan.
English is such a weird word.
Sahuagin. Say
Slitlid
cool.
is
Cool. Say whip.
Slitlid's being rude here by saying,
Cool.
pirates can't hurt you, Adam. They aren't real. I'm sorry. Or very real.
Wow. That was below the belt.
Wow. Tell that to Captain
Mhm.
Phillips. Am I right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry. That took me a couple seconds. I was like, Captain Phillips?
Yep, Tori. Yep.
Who do you? Oh, yeah, that's right. Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
I'm the captain now.
He's not even
I'm
a
the
real
captain
person.
now.
He's just Tom Hanks.
Yeah, nah, that's the any care
You're that-
anything
if Tom
that
Hanks is
he
watching,
does.
you're not a real person.
It's not Forrest Gump. It's Forrest Hanks.
Aha.
I
What
need a
would
phone.
Scooby Doo's? What would Scooby Doo says? Shut your mouth, Captain. He's talking about Shaft. Wait, no, there was another one.
Yeah, he's.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Oh, and
No,
just
no.
so you know, Rossi, I clipped that where you said, "Yeah, give him your shaft." I clipped it just for you.
Thanks.
So now you can go back and watch that over and over again.
That's perfect. I love
Drop
that
it in the
shaft joke, by
Discord.
the way. That was
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So apparently, right now, Companion is not working. We're gonna keep talking to you guys, and we're not gonna have a mid show tonight. We're gonna keep going through all of this. But let's keep.
Oh.
All right.
Companion, all my stuff.
Then
is,
we fight.
is not working.
Okay,
So I'm
sure.
gonna have
I'll
to
just
mess
pee in
with
this
that a little
glass
bit
real
more.
quick and do it.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
You can go if you need to. Go if you
We'll
need
see
to.
where
See what's
initiative.
going
We'll
on
go.
below
We'll
my screen,
go
so-
when we get into combat and then hit initiative. Or
Yeah.
Oh.
So, Captain, as everybody has now seen you, I need some initiative rolls from everybody, please.
Initiative.
Oh, come
I got
on.
it back 'cause I was practicing with a few D20s while we were doing that. I rolled a 12, a 19, and 2 natural 20s. So I got it now.
Wow.
I got the
You
mojo
wasted
back.
all the good rolls.
Shh.
All right.
Yeah, I probably did.
That is going to
Oh,
be
dear.
Captain. What'd you get?
I got a 15.
Teen Azara.
20.
20. Aradia.
21.
1. Eek.
18.
Teen Bennett.
5.
Lockhart.
17 again.
Again.
You guys go ahead. You do your thing. I'll just be here watching.
Doing great.
Radia, you are first to act. I will say that this tunnel, you guys did swim down. I will say you guys could essentially go two abreast if you wanted to. So easy enough. You've been kind of taking up the rear of the whole group. You can swim past everybody unless anybody was swimming abreast right next to the captain. Or Bennett or Lockhart, you said that you were going right behind the captain. So you guys can be right next to him. This is a bigger tunnel leading downward.
If Aradia's in the back of the group, then she'll just hold her turn.
Well, it's not your turn yet, so you have to wait anyway.
Oh, I thought you just... I thought you were just telling me. I'm sorry, I misheard you. Sorry about that.
No, I'm totally. It was for you, Aradia. I'm totally playing. Yes, you can make your way. You can kind of push your way past everybody if you want to. There is some room to maneuver around if you want to go up to the front. You actually don't know what happened. You see, kind of the captain like stops, and so does Lockhart and Bennett. Kind of like what happened before.
Sorry.
Sorry.
What is going on?
Aradia will. She'll hold her turn. She'll hold her turn and wait because she's not sure. She'll say it again. Right. What's happening up there? Why aren't we moving again?
Holding her turn.
So I will hold my turn.
Sure. Which is
Why
then going to take us
last time?
over to Azara.
Can I push through this time?
Yeah, you can push through. There's enough space. You can kind of finagle your way. You kind of make your way. Do you want to push? Because what was it? Lockhart was next to Captain, or Bennett was next to Captain?
I was next to Captain.
Yeah. So you got Lockhart and Captain. They have both stopped. If you want to push your way through them, totally fine. But the two of them are currently in the entryway into this bigger chamber. Totally up to you.
Yeah, I'll push through. I want to know why they stopped. I have no idea.
Yeah, you push through and you see all these body pieces of all these creatures floating around in the water, Azara, and you see about a dozen Swagan staring directly at all of you. Push through, what do you do?
I am going to cast Cord of Shards because it's a cone down towards them.
Cord of Shards. How far does that go? BTW.
Let me Google it real quick. It's been a while. Cord of Shards.
So there's 12 Swagan in this large area, and it's murky. And there's lots of body parts. Like it looks like they're messing around with the body parts, or these are recently parts of things. Yeah.
So as it looks like this looks actually, Captain. If you want to know, I will let you know on your turn. Not your turn yet, Captain. I'm not giving you your info.
15 feet, Adam.
15 feet. These Swagan are not close enough to you. This chamber itself is actually quite large. This one is maybe about 50 feet across in like all directions. So this is a pretty big room. I will say that you do notice, Azara, that it looks like there's giant, almost curtains of seaweed hanging down on portions of this room, and a couple other tunnels leading out of this room as well.
Okay, then I'll just stand at the swim at the ready. I'll have my
swim
sword
at the ready. So essentially there and at the ready. Excellent. Next one in line, Lockhart. It is your turn. You see all these Swagan just kind of look at you guys.
Hold on. Captain, you still have that shield because it's 1 minute per level. I just want to say that. Can I do a knowledge check real fast to see what language they speak?
Sure. You totally can.
Like if they were to speak common and everything. Ooh, 18 on the die.
Yep.
What knowledge?
So you do know. Where did my Swagan go? You do know that their main form of speak is Aquan.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are underwater creatures. And they do speak common as well too.
Beautiful. Okay. So Lockhart's gonna
And
Swim
they
up-
also can speak with sharks.
Well, that's not great. Lockhart is going to reach into his small pouch,
Oh boy.
pull out the necklace of the prince, the Sawagan prince, and is basically going to hold it up and yell, "I have bested your elite. I can go through you.
Oh, okay.
Stand
boy.
down."
That is not what I thought you were going to do.
It's an interesting move.
So, are you trying to do like an
And then you want me to
intimidation check
roll
to
in
him? Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not see that coming.
I'm going to use my guidance.
It's a form of diplomacy, certainly.
I rolled a natural one.
Fuck you, Lockhart.
Oh
As
my!
they
That
sit
felt
there
more
and you
directed at James than Lockhart.
no, because this is perfect. As you say that, you see like 3 of them open their mouth and they're just like, while the rest of them, like the other 8 or 9 that are there, they also kind of cower back from you a little bit though, and you do notice that the 3 that are screaming, they look a lot bigger than the rest of them. The other 3 that are also screaming, they look like they've got weapons in their hand. They're armored up a little bit. The rest of them are not. They've got like rags on them and everything. But 3 of them are yelling, and the other ones they're like screaming. But it looks like they're hurt, they're upset, but they don't look like they're as aggressive as the others. That is something that you do notice.
Lockhart's gonna look back with like giant eyes and be like, "That didn't go as planned."
Eek.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Yeah, Eek, you hear this come from Lockhart, and you just hear this screaming. You can swim out really close. You guys were quick abreast. You can swim out into the room if you want to, Eek. There's enough room to kind of squeeze by everybody if you want to.
Actually, what Eek is gonna do. So I'm assuming there was the tunnel that we came through. How big was that tunnel again? Was it about? You said one.
2 people. So 2 people. The one that you guys are currently in right now, 2 abreast. So it's maybe about 8 feet wide.
8 feet wide. So Eek is actually going to like maybe kind of get like right to the edge of that tunnel and tell everyone kind of fall back to the tunnel. Come on, negate their numbers. And he's going to stand ready. If any Swagan comes within reach, he's going to stab him before they get to him.
All right, so you're going to stay in the tunnel, telling everybody to come back into the tunnel.
Yeah.
So you're kind of going on a defensive. Okay, no, totally fine.
It's kind of like the idea of if there can only go 2 abreast and we start falling back into the tunnel, if we have someone in the front who can do color spray, it can hit all of them at once. Cast color spray in the tunnel.
In the tunnel, back at your compatriots. Cast color spray that way. All right, so Eek is going defensive. Okay. It takes us to Captain. Captain, you hear all the stuff that's going on. You hear Eek yelling behind you. The bubbles kind of coming out of his mouth. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna. How far out into this room are we?
So you guys are still kind of like at the entryway. These Sawagan are kind of up. Well, they're kind of up and down a little bit because think of underwater it's almost a 3D environment on how all this stuff can actually.
Right.
But they're kind of in the middle of this room. This room's about 50 feet wide, so they're maybe about 30 feet away. They're 30, like all spread out between like 30 to 40 feet. They're not in one giant clump. They're all just kind of in this room, and you definitely interrupted like a feeding frenzy of all these other creatures and stuff. Of all these body parts that you see.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna grab onto the back of Lockhart and try to swim him back into the tunnel behind, pull him back.
Okay.
Based on Eek's suggestion.
Okay. Pulling them back. Sure. If you're trying to pull Lockhart back, you are underwater. I'm gonna need a strength check from you. Lockhart is a much bigger creature than you are. It's not gonna be as bad because you are underwater. You're able to pull a little bit more weight in water, especially if he's floating there.
Ooh, 19.
Yeah, like Lockhart, you're just like, ha, bitches, and you're like, it's like one of those moments where it's like dad is about to bring like you almost feel like he's got a hold of your belt and just pulling you back, like, oh, I'm about to get whipped by dad. All right. As you're being pulled back, Lockhart, Azar, you also notice this too. The three that are screaming actually start jettisoning towards you guys. The other ones, you notice that they turn to a tunnel and they swim. They like just go down this other tunnel and they leave.
What where are these other tunnels in relation to us?
So as you guys looking into this room, where's the room? So there is oh no, I'm sorry, they don't swim across the room from you. They actually swim to the right. You notice that to the right there is what looks like a giant seaweed curtain like blocking a tunnel. You see all of them just like dip inside of there. To your left, you notice two more seaweed curtains, and then far across the room, you can barely make it out because the farthest side of the room is about 50 feet. You kind of notice it looks like that there might be a tunnel off to the right and then a left. It almost like kind of does a fork in the road. But all the rest of them, they just dip inside of this seaweed curtain. As three of them come charging at all of you. They were far enough away. They do have a swim speed, and the closest person that they do see is Azara because she pushed through. Azara, you are going to have 3 attacks coming at you. 2 of them come to flank, and 1 goes directly in front of you.
I feel like they go after me because I have the necklace of the prince.
Well, but you got pulled away. She's technically in front of you. They will come after you. Oh my god! Are you serious again? So it's almost like a mirror image. These 2 that like go on the sides that go to hit you, Azar, you just move out of the way, and their tridents get interlocked. I rolled 2 freaking natural ones again. Wow,
that's
impressive.
Yuck! And the other one, like as you kind of do that, it goes for your head, and you're able to just kind of dip your head off the way. Neither of them actually hit you, and Bennett, it is now your turn.
Oh, good. Since I'll follow that up. Really nice. Are any of them close enough to me that I can actually attack?
You just have to move forward, but you can't attack one of them. Yeah. You'll have to kind of finagle your way the entry of this. Everybody else is being more of a door than you have been, Bennett. But I will say you can at least finagle your way out through, and you can at least to squeeze through everybody else. I'll say you can at least get 1 attack off on one of these Swagan that are currently flanking Azara, and their trident is connected.
I will.
I know, Kitty. This is crap.
Free action. I'm going to pull out one. I'm going to have the trident in my right hand, and I'm going to pull out one of my daggers from my left hand. So, but then I'm going to thrust. I'm going to move up and then thrust with the trident.
Cool. -2 to your attack, -2 to your damage.
Okay. That's good. That's really good. 22.
Oh yeah, 22 is a hit. This is also going to be a -2 to your damage as well too, because it does have the broken.
Oh wait, sorry.
condition.
It's a dirty 20 with the -2. I forgot about that.
Cool, you still hit.
All right, and then it's a D8. So plus my strength, right?
Plus your strength, yes.
9.
9 points of damage as it howls in pain. Very cool.
Sorry,
Aradia,
are
you going?
I keep forgetting the -2.
Oh my
7
goodness,
points
7 points of damage.
Somebody gave me a
Aradia,
broken trident.
Aradia, that would, because you didn't take your turn with it, that puts you at the end of, or no, you did that to my last login. Yeah, that'll put you at the very end, Aradia. So, what would you like to do? Eek, it looks like Captain has pulled Bennett, or not pulled Bennett, has pulled Lockhart kind of back into the cave. Eek is shouting, let's see if we can tunnel them up. Azara hasn't had a chance to move out of the way just yet. They try to attack her, couldn't touch her, and just Bennett goes up and suck it.
Okay. From where I am at, can I see any of the Swagans?
Yeah. I mean, I'll say you were
Okay.
kind of in the midst of the pack and everything. Yeah, you can see at least the two. There is one in front of Azara that is currently being blocked by her, but the opening is big enough you can see them at least. You do have a Bennett and a Captain and a Lockhart in your way, but you could finagle your way around if you want to.
Okay. Well, I think she would have been being further back in the group. She would have heard Eek say, "Let's come back." So she will utter under her breath, "More murderers," and she will begrudgingly fall back, seeing that maybe the captain is pulling Lockhart back as well.
Sure. Takes us to Azara. You got 3 Swagan on you. All 3 of them missed you because these are not true warrior Swagan at all. Bennett came up and stabbed one with a trident. It is your go, Azara.
Am I able to flank with Bennett?
Bennett moved up to 1. You're not getting to flanking position with him. But if you, I would say if you just kind of swim like right in between, like the 2, one in front of you, one to your right, you could definitely flank with Bennett if you want to.
Yeah, I will flank with Bennett.
Yeah.
That's +2 to attacks, right? Not damage?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. Wow. 15, 16, 20, 22, 23, 24.
A hit. Go ahead. Give me some stuff. Now you do have a slashing weapon, so it will deal half damage. Piercing weapons deal full damage underwater.
9.
A 9. So 9. Half of that is 5. He's still up. Still angry. Lockhart, you're being pulled backwards from the captain, and as you go, you see Azara's still out there fighting these things, and Bennett actually moved past you guys to fight them as well. What do you do, Lockhart?
You're so strong. As he's like reaching forward, he's gonna instinctively like reach out and cast never mind, it's a touch spell. Okay, he's gonna look back to Captain and be like, they're in trouble, and try to break out of his grasp.
Okay, sure. If you want to break away from him, just give me that CMB check against Captain CMD.
You're trying to go back forward again?
He wants to get back in the fight, yeah.
Is your CMB 8?
What is your CMD, Captain?
Again.
My CMD.
Oh, no. Yep.
My CMD is 13.
Yeah.
So
Lockhart like goes to it's like
her like Heracles' strength has like a grip on my shoulder, and I'm just unable to move as he's pulling me back.
All right, trying to break free. Not breaking free, Lockhart. Captain has just got your belt way too well. Eek, your turn. You shouted. You saw Captain and Lockhart swim back. Aradia has kind of backed up a little bit too. Azara's in the midst of fighting these things, and Bennett has moved up. They are in the midst of battle with these creatures. What do you do?
All right, I'm going to kind of like hold the door. And if any of the Swagan come close, I'm hurling my vindictive harpoon, which gets no penalties in water.
Because it is
has
underwater.
It has a 50-foot rope attached to it, but I think I can only throw it 20 feet.
I mean,
as soon as they get within 20, are they?
I mean, you could move up 10 feet and chuck one at one that was at the side of Azara. You could definitely hit one. You just swim up 10
That
feet.
looks so cool.
No, I'm gonna wait for them to come to me.
Stay defensive.
And then chuck it.
Sure, totally fine. Captain, your go. You're holding on to Lockhart. He tries to get away from you. Zara and Bennett have not. Bennett has actually moved up into battle, and Zara is still there.
Whatever happened to strategy? And I'll let go of Lockhart's shoulder. I will reach underneath my cloak and pull out a small wand, hold it forward, and fire off a spell.
Fire off the spell. What are you firing off, Captain?
There's a brief flash, and appearing next to Azara is an octopus.
Ooh.
An octopus. What is this thing? Did I give you this thing?
Yeah, what is it?
It's a summon nature's ally level 2.
Oh, that's
Nice.
right. I forgot you found that thing. It is an octopus. Cool.
And this octopus is gonna attack one of these Sahuagin.
All right, cool. It attacks the Sahuagin. Give me a yeah. Oh yeah, Gary. Gary, that would have been cool. Wand a lightning bolt would have been super cool.
Ooh. Oh, we would have all been electrocuted.
Yeah, you would. Science is real, guys.
No, Gary.
Yeah. So give me an attack, Captain. Is it gonna attack? Is it gonna try to wrap it up? What do you want this octopi to do?
It's I think we're gonna attack this octopus.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to first. It's gonna bite.
Bite. When I try to bite my Sahuagin.
Rolled terribly. That is a
Good.
10.
Yeah, only one octopus is allowed in this game. That's really cool, and that is Wendy's octopus. Taco.
I think a 10 does not work for an attack.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Well then, it's going to tentacle. It's like it's just a grab.
Try to grab onto it. Sure. So CMB, the octopus is CMB against my CMD. It is an octopus, so it's got a pretty good one.
Yep.
Okay.
It's going to be amazing.
It would be amazing if I didn't roll 1.
So what does that take it to total?
It takes it to. It's my CMB, right? Takes
The octopus is CMB.
Right. Takes it to an 8.
An 8. Not gonna do it. Yeah, only Taco's the coolest octopus here. Cool. Well, yeah, that's the captain. All right.
Same octopus.
All right. So I've got the one Sahuagin that is being, one of them is going to attack Bennett. One of them is going to attack Azara. Let me see how I do. I missed on both of
Quick
them.
question: Do they have to take a turn to undo their tridents? Because was it the same way as the last time?
Oh yeah, strength. Failed the strength check, so that one actually doesn't work. So it just drops its thing, drops its trident. The one that tried to hit Azar totally missed, and then the other one's going to try to attack this octopus that just appeared next to it. Nope. Sahuagin are terrible. Sahuagin can't do anything like whatsoever. So my turn is now done. That was great. Bennett, it's your turn.
They're in good company. All right. Am I still flanking with Azara?
Yep.
Flanking that one guy with Azara?
I'm still
All right.
flanking.
I'm gonna take another stab at it with the Trident.
Go -2.
-2. What? It's a +2 because it's essentially a straight roll.
So it's canceled out. Yep.
I gotta get different dice. That's a
We
1.
already got you. Oh, come on.
1. Yeah, you go to stab it like with the trident as it just moves out of the way, and like it's a lot closer to the wall than you thought, and you hit the wall, and like the trident, the crack in it expands more.
Oh dear. All right.
Yeah, so now, as you do that, you're now going to take a -4 when you attack with this. Is now the broken condition has gotten worse.
Well then, for my second attack, which I forgot to do last time, I'm gonna stab with my dagger.
Sure. Try to stab with your dagger.
This die is the one. That is the one. That is better. That is a 16.
+2?
16 is enough to hit this thing. It's AC. Give me some damage.
That's what the plus did. Cool. All right. I like that. Which dagger did I pull out? Oh shoot. Let's. Sorry, I forgot which dagger I pulled out, so I'm going
Roll
Just
to
got
die.
roll
a
for it.
dagger.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go from the top. I pulled out the Dagger of Judgment.
Ah, yeah,
So-
Dagger of Judgment. Yeah.
7 points of piercing damage.
Yeah, how do you kill this thing?
Oh, it's going for wherever the kidney might be. I'm gonna aim for that, jam it in there, and twist.
And there and twist.
Stops squirming.
Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Irradiator, are you doing anything? We're at the end of the round.
Am I seeing anyone else falling back towards
No,
Eek and I?
Bennett and Azar are still there. Like you actually see an octopus like appear like at the end of the tunnel, like behind one of these Swagan.
And I would have heard Eek say what he said about his Trident of whatever. She'll give a deep sigh and touch Eek on the shoulder and say, I really hope you can hit one of these things when they come our way, and I'll put guidance on Eek.
Guidance on the Eek.
Oh, burn.
Oh man, this thing is still
Thanks, Radio.
not working. I was gonna try to take us out of combat for a second so everybody get. Okay. Well, yep. Companion's still not working. Cool. Excellent. I was gonna try to give us another little break, guys, but that's fine. You guys are stuck in combat. After combat is done, or unless you guys actually want to right now, if anybody needs to, go to the bathroom, grab a quick drink of my players as well, and whoever stays, I will have some questions for you. So we'll take a quick 5. If anybody has to run to the bathroom and grab a drink, anybody who stays, I will have questions for you. Quick break, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna stay right here. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah. Okay, Bennett's leaving. Eek is
I'll
leaving.
stay.
Captain is trying to leave.
Eyeball.
Rossi's trying to get out of his closet. He's gonna have to crawl.
What?
He has to crawl.
Is he in his
underneath.
closet?
That's where he always streams from.
Are you? I thought it was his desk.
Amazing.
No,
I should do
he's
that.
been ever since Harbingers. He streams from the closet.
I did not know that.
You knew that, you just did not remember that. Where he's at.
Whatever.
All right, well, it looks like it is the 3 of you. Oh, this
Just
shall
the
be
3
fun.
of us.
Yeah, I'll take my leave when somebody comes back.
Can make it if we
You can take
try.
your leave now if you want to.
Just
I
the
mean,
3
who
of
knows what'll
us.
happen if you leave?
You and
Harley
I.
and
Yeah.
Here, let me see. Actually, all 3 of you roll me a d20 really quick.
D20. There's something in my freaking eye.
Ooh,
2. Oh, good
6.
thing I put a 2 here.
15.
Ugh.
15. Aradia.
15 gold?
15 gold. I ain't that nice. As you're sitting there and all this stuff is like starting to happen, your vision slowly starts to fade just a little bit. It could be just from the violence that you yourself have been like portraying ever since you've been out in these caves. But your vision starts to go just a little bit. Like everything like in the corner of your vision starts to get very fuzzy. And then it's almost like at the very back of your mind, you hear a very muffled voice.
Look behind me.
Look behind you, you don't see anything. But as soon as you look behind you, it sounds like now it's coming from the opposite direction behind you. And as you turn, you just keep hearing this muffled voice. It doesn't seem like it's really close, but it doesn't seem super far away. It seems like it's somewhere. And this voice just in the back of your head, in the back of your mind. And every time you turn around this way, then you hear it here, and you're just looking around. Lockhart, you're like the cap. You feel the captain release you, and you feel this chill go down your spine. Cold, super cold. Like you've been thrust onto the top of a mountain while it's snowing. And you feel like this cold bite right at the bottom of your spine. And you feel that cold start to course through your body, kind of shake your head, but you just feel it there. You reach back to try to touch what's wrong. There's nothing wrong, but it just feels wrong. Azara, these creatures are all around you. They're trying to stab into you, and they're obviously missing you because you're the butcher. But what ends up happening is you look at one of them. One of them, it seems like the one that you're with, looks you directly in the eyes, and it smiles this big nasty smile. And its eyes, almost like they start to change color to purple, this very deep purple color, and then they change back, and you notice that their eyes are very just yellowy.
Mm-hmm.
Eek is in the back, just kind of sitting there, just waiting for something to happen. And Eek, you hear this go off from behind you. It sounds almost like an underwater explosion. Just
what is happening?
You're looking around. You don't see anything. You don't hear anything. You just keep hearing the. To you, it just sounds like a bunch of underwater explosions. You kind of shake your head. Maybe your ears are ringing or something. Like you guys have been underwater. You guys aren't typically underwater this much. It could also just be all the other sounds happening underwater with you. Bennett, as you're sitting there fighting these creatures as well too, you kind of look around and you see Azara standing or swimming there, kind of floating there in water, and the color of her hair changes.
Ooh.
Bennett, what color of hair did your wife have?
What is happening?
What color hair
Black
did your wife
hair.
have?
Black
hair, Azara. Yeah, you see just Azara's hair, just from the roots, and it goes jet black as she just kind of glances over at you, and her eyes also change color. What color were your wife's eyes?
Brown.
As her eyes change from that seafoam color to brown, and then back to seafoam again, as the black from the tips just starts working its way up back into the roots of her hair.
What is going on?
You guys went to the bathroom. Things are happening. Crazy things are just going on.
Now stuff is going nuts. Okay.
It's all right. But as we're here, Azar, it's just this flash that happens of this creature looking at you dead in the eye. It's your turn. We're gonna go ahead and continue on with initiative.
My
because
turn.
It is you.
I kind of.
Oh my God! Where did Philip Rossi come from?
Whoa!
He just climbed his way back up in there.
That was fun.
I would blank, kind of staring at the eyes, going, thinking, what is this creature? Is it magical or what? I'm gonna try and hit it again.
Trying to hit.
I'm flanking 14, 15,
well,
16.
the creature that is currently flanking you, you were flanking with Bennett is dead. There is one to your side, so you can attack.
I'm sorry.
I killed that one.
So that's just 14.
14.
Is she flanking with the octopus?
No, she's not flanking with the.
No, you said next to me.
No, not flanking with the octopus because the octopus is on the last one. No, that misses. You and you're also not used to really fighting underwater that much. Your weapon is just a little bit too slow as this thing just kind of maneuvers itself out of the way. Lockhart. It eventually just goes away from your spine. It's your turn. What do you do?
Lockhart's gonna basically throw an open hand through the water, and out of his palms come two. Wait, is it two?
Lightning bolts? Please tell me lightning bolts.
Nope.
Stop that.
Damn it! I want lightning bolts.
Two red darts with a black flame floating off of them come winding around and stick into the body of the one in between you guys as he casts magic missile.
Magic missile, give me some damage.
That is 5. 7 damage total.
7 damage total. Pop, pop, pop! 7 damage right into the body of this thing. Excellent. Eek! It's your turn. That just those like pops that are going off in your ear, they just slowly dissipate and disappear. As you just see, like,
They sound like they're
Captain,
coming
like,
from behind
casting
us,
stuff.
right?
It eventually sounded like it was all around you at one point, but it stopped. Maybe it was in your head. Maybe it was going off. Who knows? Who knows?
Something
It's your
weird's
turn, Eek.
happening, guys. We need to regroup. Is anything within 20 feet of me?
If you move forward 10 feet, yeah, something could be 20 feet within your reach of your thing.
Now, am I able to like move forward, throw, and then move back?
No. Use your
No,
movement.
I'm only
then use your
I'm only
action.
allowed to move once in Pathfinder First Edition.
Yes. You got your movement.
So many
Yep.
different game systems. How many bad guys are up there? There's two. One.
There are two that are left. One of them just got hit with some force darts from Lockhart, and there's an octopus currently attacking another one.
Ah, okay. Is the one that the Lockhart shot the closest one to me?
If you move 10 feet, you definitely can hit it.
Okay, fine. 10 feet. Throw the harpoon.
Throw the harpoon. And you guys see it, as you guys just see this harpoon just like spins through like the water, cuts through it like butter.
Ah, that's only a 10.
Only a 10 as it misses. Eek, you're not. Last time you actually used this thing it's been a
Don't
while
for-
since
Did
you've
you
used
use
this
your
thing.
guidance?
What does
one.
guidance give me? Oh no, I
Plus
did not use
one.
my guidance. I did not use my guidance, but I can choose when to use it. And I'm not going to use it. I did not use it on that, and I
Okay.
do not want to use it on that because it'd just be throwing it away.
It sucks. You throw it and you miss. That takes us to Captain. Captain, like you're standing there, and as you're standing there, it's almost like you just for a split second, the water almost like disappears. So you're like almost like like everybody seems like they're floating almost like in midair, and you look down, and on the ground there's a whole bunch of sand. Like you remember looking down, like when you were in this tunnel, it's just rocks and everything, but it's just sand. As you kind of like look forward, like out of the tunnel a little bit more, it looks like it opens up, and for almost a split second, it almost looks like this tunnel opens up to the outdoors, and like there's bright light that you see for a quick second as well too, and it's almost like see it the light starts to shift, like it's heading into a dead boom, but then the water comes like rushing back in, and then you're floating back in water again. Your turn, Captain.
You're muted.
I'm gonna use this octopus to attack one of these guys that's still up.
Sure.
Son of a gun. Well, the bite didn't work. Let's try the tentacles. Better. How about a 23 to grapple?
Michael Jordan definitely grapples as the octopus just wraps itself around this creature. Excellent, Captain.
Okay, great. And then, yeah, good. It is grappled.
Alrighty, it is grappled. Well, I'm now currently grappled by an octopus. I'm going to see if I can break out of this grapple. Nope. That's a 3 on the die. The one next to Zara is going to try to stab you with the thing. I finally hit somebody, maybe? A 21.
Well-
Zara, does that hit you?
Maybe. Of course it does.
Okay, good. Take some damage. Take 8 points of piercing damage. As this thing shoves its trident right into your gut. Bennett, it is now currently your turn. Bennett, did we lose Bennett?
Okay.
Yes,
Brent?
he is
No, that's his
frozen.
natural. He always looks like that.
That's it. He always looks like that.
Can you hear me?
I actually
Yes, we
think
can
his
hear you.
camera's
Hear
just
you.
lagged. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all right.
Yeah,
we can hear you. Go ahead.
I've been skitzing for a little bit now. Okay. So I'm going to. There's still two. One of them's grappled. I'm going to go over to the one that is not grappled. Can I flank with anybody?
Yeah, you can flank with Lazara.
All right.
So underneath it.
I'm going to take my Dagger of Judgment
Nice.
that I stabbed somebody with, and I still don't know what this thing does, but I'm going to stab another one that looks just like it. And go. That is with the flanking is dirty 20.
Dirty 20 is a hit. Give me some damage.
Nice. 10 piercing damage.
And piercing as you cut into this thing. Yeah, you kind of look at that dagger. Actually, it did kind of do this before. You see it kind of like starts to glow blue, and you see it just kind of like start maneuvering around, and it points like at this awkward angle, like just towards the rock in a direction.
Okay. Look at the rock real quick. It's like there's nothing there. Can I use my second attack?
Yeah.
All right. Second attack coming in. And this is that 14. Oh, wait. With flanking, that's a 16.
Flanking.
That is correct.
Nice.
Roll me damage.
Yeah. Do it again. That is 9 points of piercing damage.
Now you kill it. Dead.
Tight.
So good.
Yay.
This one in the back. It's going to sever the spine. Really gruesome, like. And then it just
So mean.
stops swimming and it just kind of like struggles, bleeds out.
Is break in to this Sawagan encampment uninvited. Talk about how you killed like their prince and everything, and then you just start
They
murdering.
didn't pay their rent either, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
Is that one is dead? Yeah, Aradia, it's your go. There's still one more of these baddies left.
Just one more. How far am I away from all of these? The action since I've
I don't
fallen
even remember
back?
anymore. Oh yeah, you fell back. I mean, you're at least 30 feet away.
30 feet, you say?
This is obnoxious.
Lightning bolt.
think
Come on,
that's
lightning bolt. Somebody.
I'll use all of my action to try to get closer.
All right,
I'll
so you want to
swim.
use?
Take my
Okay,
turn to
you can
swim
swim all the way to the opening. Sure, you can do that.
to the opening
top of
and
the round.
peek in.
Yep. Blitcher, your turn.
Well, Brent just killed the one that we were just fighting,
Killed the
right?
one. There's one currently entangled with an octopus that appeared out of nowhere.
Then I will go help the octopus.
Sure. Totally stab the octopus. Sounds good.
Ew. You know what? I'm gonna use my reroll from Blake last week and re-roll it. Okay, that's
Ooh,
better.
you got a reroll. Gross.
From Blake
Thank you,
last
Josh
week.
Daddy.
Thank you,
Gross.
Blake.
Rerolls and
if I
Kings of Dirt don't count in this game.
no, he gave it to us here. Adam, am I flanking with the octopus?
Technically yes. It is like latched on. So yeah, I'll say I'll give you some flanking.
19.
19's a hit. Even if you weren't flanking, that still hit it.
I know. I wanted to
Butcher.
ask.
Remember, you only get half damage on this.
8 points. I know.
8
not
points.
great. I rolled
You
a 1.
cut into it. Still alive, but just barely. Eek, it is your turn. You see an octopus. Azar is fighting one of these things. It's looking bad. Actually, Azar, you look into this one's eyes, and it slowly starts to vibrate. You've seen the Swagan do before. Eek, it's your turn. You can try to throw the thing at it again. And you won't take a -4 because you do have precise shot with your thing.
Yep.
So totally fine. Throw away. Eek.
No, that's a miss. That's another 10.
That's another 10. That's a miss. Lockhart,
But
it is
then,
your turn.
Wait. I throw it. I see the vibrating thing in that thing, I'm like, oh shit! I'm gonna start swimming backwards to the cave.
You would not see the vibrating because you're not close enough to see
Well,
the vibrating
I'm still
eyeballs.
gonna. I see that everyone else has got this guy probably taken care of, so I am gonna start swimming back though.
Totally fine. Okay, Lockhart, your turn.
Well, I want to do. Can I do a knowledge check? What?
I'm just saying, you got one thing. It's slowly dying. Come on, you guys.
Okay.
What do you want a knowledge check with?
I just want to learn why these guys are like. Are these the High Guard, or like who are they compared to the ones that ran off?
So I would say really wouldn't have to do knowledge because you were looking at all of them. These guys definitely had more armor on than the rest of them. I would say.
Okay.
I mean, okay, give me a knowledge local. Let's see if you know some knowledge bombs on how Sawagan hierarchy and everything work.
That's a 2 on the die for a 7.
For 7. Yep, they got armor.
Oh,
got
these
armor.
guys they have armor, everyone. They have armor. Cool. Then he is going to take a dagger out of his pocket and cast Long Arm. And so you see like his arms get 10 feet long as it like whips through the water to stab.
That is so disturbing.
Yeah.
That's
Lockhart's
so
got long arms now.
cool.
Bigger hugs. Bigger and better hugs.
That's a critical
Big, huge
threat.
Critical threat. Roll to
Uh-oh.
confirm, please.
Okay.
Higher than a 16
Okay.
or 16.
12 plus 9.
That is a critical hit.
20. 12 plus 8.
Give me
Sorry.
give me all your
20?
damage. Yes, it is a critical hit. Give me all your
Nice.
things. Yes, Gary calls you Slenderman.
3.
Dagger. Seen.
11 damage.
How'd he kill it, Lockhart?
So you just see like Lockhart right now is the waving inflatable tube man. And you just see his his arms go back and forth, and it's just boom with like a quick movement, like gets in between you guys flanking him, just an arm reaching through as it like stabs him in the chest, and then it like wiggles back away.
Yes, congratulations. They are all dead. Now you have added
Yay.
3 Sawagan corpses to the already corpses that were floating
Nice.
around in this room. Guys, look around.
I'm
Doesn't
gonna
seem like
look
there's
through
any
the-
other threats.
I want to look through their pockets for rent money to see if they have any.
No rent money.
Somebody's,
As you actually,
somebody's going to have money.
You find actually a piece of paper in one of them and says, "We don't owe rent, bitch."
It's an IOU.
How did they know? Like they were just carrying this.
Well, actually, you look in their other pocket and you see that there's another letter that says from Captain. You can't really make out the name. The name looks like it's scratched out, but it says your rent is due, and it's like on this date and everything too. So
That's fair.
yeah.
Is
So yeah, you guys
is
don't.
the- they have on anything?
No, they've got like
Like
rags
magic?
on. I mean, that
Okay.
you guys aren't catching any magic up in here.
Nothing special with the armor.
Yeah,
We happen to
nothing.
have
Adam, can I look
No.
down to see if the little guys are coming back or coming out or?
No, so all of them disappeared to like the giant seaweed curtain to your right. There are currently 2 seaweed curtains to your left, and then 2 other tunnels farther into this room. You do know that the rest of these Sawagan
There's-
disappeared.
1 to the right or 2 to the right?
1 to the right, 2 to the left, 2 farther into the room.
Lockhart will turn to the group and he's like, I can make us all invisible. It's a lot of spells, but we can do that.
Is
How-
that
for
going
how
to
long?
be helpful?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a good amount of time, but if we're dealing with more of these,
I'll tell you what.
We're
I
still
know
gonna be
I know for a fact that Mr. Ishmael has a ring that will make him invisible. Why does he not go ahead, scout, come back to us and tell us where they are. Then we can all turn invisible and go.
I like
them
that
the-
idea.
Smack them.
Lockhart, very wide-eyed, turns to Bennett and goes, "You've had a ring of invisibility this whole time."
Yeah. Say this. Does having invisibility also give dark vision?
I don't think so.
Doubtful.
Feel like they're
Nope, it
separate
doesn't.
things.
So I
Actually,
don't
Actually,
think
we probably need to get out of this room because a whole bunch more Schwagen are probably going to be coming in here pretty quickly.
That would
There
be
was
good.
another
We had this
tunnel.
tunnel right here. We're supposed to be teaming them up on. Where I'm standing, actually. Where you told me to stand.
Okay.
All right,
Tell you what,
Bennett,
Captain,
go
I think
by
we need to make a choice
yourself.
fast. Captain, what do you want to do? Let's have the captain decide and we go. Because I
Mr.
think
Ishmael.
Schwagen are coming in.
Can you see in the dark?
you're
Welcome
back at him.
Yeah, no, I could hear you.
Feel like
And I was trying to see if
Okay.
I
No?
No, I can hear you.
Azara. Azara, can you see in the dark?
Yes.
Perfect. Give your ring to Azara. Azara will scout.
Okay.
All right.
Put my dagger away. Shift the trident into the other hand, and I'll pull the ring off and hand it to
I
Azara
have low
very
light
carefully.
vision. I have low light vision.
All right, I can see in the dark.
No one sees the dark. Lockhart, you
I-
can see in the
yes.
dark?
Lockhart.
Yes,
Right,
I
give
have.
it to Lockhart. Lockhart,
Alright.
do some scouting. Everyone else, let's retreat back into the tunnel in case they come out here. We can use Mr. Eek's genius idea and not all be standing in the open. This, whatever you say. Our thing's hanging out. Yeah.
Bennett, don't forget to retrieve your dagger.
Did I drop it again?
Yeah.
I thought you dropped one to swap one. Yeah.
I think you naturaled one and dropped it.
No, he broke the trident.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
okay.
the trident that
More.
broke a little bit more, which I'm going to look at kind of disappointed, and it's like, ugh. But I will hold
It'd
on
be
to
worth
it.
less money now.
Yes,
Look at Bennett, go.
Lockhart. Oh, sorry. Go.
I was going to say, Bennett, your daggers are way cooler than that. Don't worry about
Yeah, you're right.
Um, as everyone is doing this back and forth with the ring, Aradia wants to swim down to one of the dead Schwaggens and remove their chest armor. From them.
Sure. I mean, it's not going
If-
to offer any
if
protection.
that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally fine. It's just think of like a couple like straps of leather and then just like a mini plate on the middle of it. You totally
What is
can.
the plate made of?
It looks like maybe bronze, perhaps. Maybe they pounded it out of bronze.
Yeah, she'll take one.
Sure.
She's gonna take one.
Can they operate as camouflage?
No, it's legit like leather strap, plate.
Can we? What if we like take the seaweed and kind of like stuff it in our
in your bra?
No,
totally work.
I don't have one. In our clothing to make us look a little more seaweed like. Would that help with?
Oh, like a disguise.
Stealth at all? Yeah. As far as
Why
being
would
able
you
to
need
move through
disguise
things.
if you're invisible?
Well, I won't be invisible anymore.
Lockhart's just
Unless-
putting on the ring.
How did you get
I-
the ring?
It was
I
given
gave
to
it
Bennett
me.
handed it to
Oh,
yeah.
handed it to you.
I
Okay.
had it and I gave it to him
Okay.
because
Oh.
invisibility and dark vision don't go together.
I was looking to see if I could cast a spell that gives you dark vision. All right.
No.
Thank you. So he's
I'm
going
gonna cast
to
message. Or we should all cast message.
Yes.
I don't have message on
I
this
was
character.
going to
Sorry.
ask that. So he'll
Wrong
turn
message. I don't have
he'll
this.
turn to Captain and he's like, "Can you cast message on me so I can pull it back?"
I will have to continually cast message, and it will run out of range eventually. But yes,
Okay. Then I'll go until it runs out of range.
Lockhart,
And
wait, before
yes,
you turn
what?
invisible, Do we have that helmet? Give him the helmet, so if there's trouble, he can teleport back to us.
You guys didn't take it with you.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay,
we did either.
never mind then.
Okay, I'll cast
an idea.
it. I'll cast a message. We have 10 minutes. Actually, I take that back. I'm level 5. We have 15 minutes. Level 6. We have an hour. We'll be fine.
Okay. He is going to go invisible and swim up to the seaweed. No one can see this, but he turns around and makes eye contact with Azara and looks
You can't make eye
longingly.
contact if she can't see him. You're just
Eyes.
staring weirdly at her eyes.
Lockhart,
stares-
go ahead.
Stares weirdly at her eyes, and, like sighs, and he like kind of grabs Heartwall, and then you see the seaweed part as he goes through.
Now, as Lockhart disappears through the seaweed, you guys see him swim up to the seaweed, and he looks back and he looks right at you, Azara. You see him sigh.
What? I
And you
thought
see
I
him
cast it.
Do I see
disappear.
it?
No,
Yeah,
I cast
and you
it.
see him disappear into the seaweed.
What do you mean?
How do
He's
I see?
invisible.
He's invisible, yeah.
He put the ring on, he said.
He put the
Yeah.
ring on. He did.
Still-
It is
Still
not a ring of
activated.
invisibility. I never said it was a ring of invisibility when I gave it to you guys. I said it was an invisible ring. So as Lockhart,
What the
you
F,
swim.
man?
All right.
Oh, that's
Fine.
different.
Mr. Lockhart, you're not invisible
Lockhart.
for some reason. Come back.
Lockhart is on the other side of this wall of seaweed.
Saw the whole
and
thing go
Lockhart,
down.
as you swim through, all these Sawagan look at you, and you just hear them like, "Ah! Ah!" and they start cowering away from you, like, he's the one.
Yeah, that works too.
No, as they're all just looking at you, freaking out.
I think Lockhart internally would be like, "These are very powerful creatures if they have true sight. I must be very delicate in this situation, so I might not die."
I've been waiting for this for so long.
Lockhart will go, "Yes, it is I, the Destroyer."
As they just start cowering more, and you actually look at them, Lockhart, and these ones, some of them look a lot older than the ones you have been fighting. Some of them look a lot younger as well too. They look very malnourished. They look like they have scars and cuts on them as well too. And they're just like, and they're just all screaming, "No, please don't!" As they're like they can't get out because you are blocking their way out. And this room that you're in, like, it looks like there's just like some seaweed, some other just like broken pieces of driftwood, like at the top of this chamber and everything, and they're all just like all the way up against the back of the wall, and they're all just like freaking out right now.
Who is the leader among you?
There is no leader among us. The rest of the warriors only allowed us to eat. We haven't eaten in days.
Who
We
is
were-
the oldest of that before? Don't you speak without me speaking to you. Who is the eldest of this group? Step forward.
Do you mean swim forward? We're floating in water
Whatever.
currently. as one of them from the back, he goes, "Oh, please don't hurt him." And this one swims forward, and he has this just massive, like, just like chunk of his face like missing. And he's just like, "No, please. I would say I'm probably the oldest, but we're not warriors. Please don't hurt us. We were only eating. If you came to rescue the queen, please, it was not us that killed the raiding party that came. We all thought that you were part of the scout party as well too. The warriors had actually murdered the rest of them that were trying to help the queen. Please, we had nothing to do with it. We did not hurt them. They were already dead when we started
stop
thieving."
sniveling. Stop sniveling. Talk to me. You say queen, she's in trouble. Correct?
Yes.
All right.
Or more of, I guess not. Some people think of her as a queen. I guess more of a matriarch queen, whatever you want to call her.
All right, stay here. And he's actually he's gonna look at him and be like, lean your head forward.
Please don't
And
hurt
so
me. He leans forward.
it's and he takes Hartwell out just a little bit, enough to nick his finger, and he's gonna press it onto his head and cast infernal healing. So he'll gain 20 HP. Over the next 2 minutes, he'll look at him and go, "Wait for my leader," and he's gonna swim back out.
And you just see, as you're saying that, you see almost like the muscle and sinew like start stitching its way back up the side of his face. His eye that was just missing just kind of appears back in the spot as well too, and he just looks up at you and he goes, "Oh, some sort of water god, perhaps." Hey, thank you. We will wait here.
And he like turns back and he looks at the rest of them, and he mumbles. He's like, I don't have enough to help all. And he like swims out to Captain. He goes, I think I'm gonna need you in there, Captain.
What's going on? Also, you know this ring I was telling you has not made you invisible. It's apparently an invisible ring. No one has noticed. I don't know how the handoff of the ring actually went when no one could see it. But the ring, now that I'm not looking at it, I now notice that we can't see it. No one has been able to see it the whole time.
So actually, no. You look down, Lockhart. You feel the ring. The ring itself has turned invisible, but you are not.
Lockhart looks at like the captain, and then he like sighs-eyed Azara, and then he looks at the captain, like, huh.
Exactly how he's seen here. Are we seeing like a hole
Oh my god!
through his finger? Kind
Yeah,
of
like the cat, like a kind of like.
Or do we just see his finger?
There.
You just see his finger. The ring itself.
Yeah, I was
has
just
turned
gonna
invisible.
say it's like Wendy's sweater. The green screen.
Yeah, you just see it. Lockhart feels it. You just can't see it.
I'm like, very confused how you and Mr. Ishmael have misunderstood this ring. I was told there was a ring of invisibility. You both have put it on your fingers. And neither of you have noticed that the ring is invisible and not the effect.
Azara gave it to me. Okay, in my defense,
Why are you blaming
Azara gave it to me, and as you can tell, I'm not exactly the best at noticing things. This is not news. To be fair.
But how can you give someone an invisible ring?
That's what I'm saying, Mr. Eek.
I don't know, Azara. How do you give an invisible ring?
Three people's hands. Let's just what's in the tunnel?
No, okay. So there is a group of malnourished Swagan. The elder of the group was extremely hurt. Apparently there is a queen that has been captured that they are trying to save. I don't know. He was sniveling so much I couldn't get information out of him. I just wanted to choke him.
Why don't you gain their trust by
humanoid
nicely?
queen or a Sahagwin queen?
I did not get that far. And then he looks at Azara and he goes, I think I gained their trust because I healed the elder's eye back.
That's very nice of you.
Well,
He was
I'm
missing
very
a
confused.
face, and he reminded me of Captain, and it made me sad. And so, yes, Captain, sorry.
Why would someone reminding you of me makes you sad? What's so sad about me? I'm in the prime of my life.
He was just hurt, and he has a prowess that reminds me of you. And when you're hurt, it makes me sad. And so, can you just talk to these people, please?
Yes, I will speak to them. Okay.
Radia's gonna go with the captain.
So we're all. I will say, be cautious. They are very nervous. Maybe like one at a time. They are very scared.
Okay, and this is the room off the closest room to the left? Is that
No, this one's to the right.
to the right?
Lockhart, are you going in with him as well too, with the captain?
Yes, I will go in first and like usher him in and be like, "This is my captain."
Are you gonna
him."
look back at Azara again and make eye contact with her?
No, he's so red, but you guys can't tell. But he feels like this. Like if he is so hot, it looks like steam is like coming off his face and creating vapor from water.
Little bubbles.
You swim in, Lockhart, and as you do, you just hear, "Oh, the water god is back! The water god is back!" As they all just kind of like start, kind of like putting their head down and everything.
Did not expect that. All right, okay, yeah, calm down. This is my captain. I will allow him to introduce himself. I also want you to know my other compatriots will be slowly coming in. You have no worry; they will not harm you in any way. Please discuss what you need to with this gentleman here. And then I will step to the side.
Yeah, yes. So you are the captain of this group, yes?
Yes.
And we are.
How come you all to be here?
Well, we are part of a Sawagan tribe that live in these caves. We were just feeding the creatures you saw us feeding on. As you can see, we are all very malnutritioned, and we are very beat up because we are older and younger. Even the younger ones are not quite able to become warriors themselves. They get beat until they're able to actually fight, and those of us that are too old to raid ships at sea, we stay back here and we're fed scraps. But the creatures that you saw us all feeding on, they were part of a raiding party that arrived here. That apparently they were here to save their queen or the matriarch. They're part of a rescue party, as you might say. She's actually up in the upper caves. I don't know if you actually saw her. The other Sawagan here have done horrible things to her. They've taken all of her eggs captive as well too. But we did not touch her. We did not touch her at all. We all just mostly stay in this room and feed when we're told to feed, and the other Sawagan hatchlings are through one of the other curtains, and our ruler is farther down in the depths of the caves as well. We just figured that the rest of you were part of the rest of the party that was here to help release her.
I see. And where's when your raiding parties capture treasure and people, where is it taken?
Oh, well, I would almost assume that'd probably be down in the chieftain's lair. We wouldn't know. We're never given anything. They don't think of us. They don't think of especially us older ones much. But yes, our chieftain Kelroot, he is very vicious. Very vicious indeed. He's the one that took my face before the water god gave it back to me.
And so you once raided, but now are too old to do so, and others of these are too young.
Yes, the Sawagan race. Sawagan are a big race out in the seas and the oceans. That some of them are more for raiding parties. Some of them do like to be peaceful. Fortunately, when Kelroot took over, he's a very, very vicious Sawagan chieftain, and most of us, and the matron who protects all of the Sawagan babies and eggs, she will protect the eggs to her dying breath as long as no one tries to hurt her or hurt the babies. But most of the warriors here as well are not very friendly. They've done, as you can see, and you kind of notice some of the other ones, like one of the Sawagan, it's like missing an arm that's all like just stitched up like really badly, and they've got just like scars all over them.
I see. Well, I believe we can both benefit each other. We have business in these caves, and if you will act as guides, you will be released from the bonds that Kelroot puts upon you.
Oh. Oh, I could give you the best knowledge. Many of us don't go any farther than this room in the feeding room. I can tell you this. Might I take you out, and I might be able to tell you a little bit more of what I do know of some of these cave systems. Would it be
Very
all
well.
right if, as he slowly starts swimming through, the rest of them are kind of staying back a little bit.
Can I roll a sense motive check?
Did you go inside? As of right now, it was only Lockhart and the
Yeah,
captain. Did anybody else go inside?
no, I said.
Yeah.
I just think everybody was talking, but I said if the captain goes, I'm going.
Sure. Yeah, you can totally roll sense motive.
Yeah. And I let the people know that they would slowly be trickling in.
3 plus. I don't think it's high enough. No, I rolled a 5.
A 5. I mean, they all just look incredibly terrified. Brent, I saw your hand up as well too. Do you have a question?
Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, whenever Lockhart said that we'd be slowly trickling in, I was going to stay out and just, like, continue to watch that large
that's
shape.
fair.
For guard.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. He looks at the rest of the Sawagan who just says, "Oh, just stay here. You will be well protected. The water god has given us his promise that he will not hurt, that no harm will come to any of us."
Mix, what is your name?
My name my name is Alton. It's Alton. Alton.
Wow. Okay.
Alton Brown.
Okay.
Not Alton. Alton, Wendy. Say his name correctly, please. This is
Alton.
not Ong, okay? This is not Uncle Ero, okay? Say the name correctly. I appreciate it.
Alton, give line. One moment. And then Lockhart's going to turn to the captain and basically let him know that I can heal 4 of their most injured without it affecting us too much in combat. And how does he feel about that? And this isn't very broken Elvish.
Can I get a sense motive on this dude that I'm talking to?
Sure.
Outen.
Yeah.
Outen.
Yes.
3.
He still looks terrified. Yeah.
I will through the whisper spell. That's still good. I'll say we can worry about assisting them truly later, but I have no trust for Swagan.
Understood.
Before we go, Aradia will direct this question at Alton and say, your chieftain, Calroot, what do you know of his son?
Demon spawn, of course. I would, as he like looks around, he's like, yes, he was our prince, but I would say very happy that he is gone. But I do know that the chieftain, when he did find out, when the inked pirate came back and let him know, he killed one of the other elders. He ripped them in half. He's very angry by it. So if you do meet him, be wary. He will have bloodlust, and he will not be nice. He will do anything in his power to kill those that murdered his demons. It's his son. His son.
No, you can call them that.
Thank you.
That's fine. Yeah.
Very well, Alton. Please.
Well, Captain, if they're not going to be much help, we could just let them go.
we will discuss that after Alton shares what he wishes to tell us.
As the rest of you guys, Bennett, you see everybody kind of move their way out, and Alton, he doesn't swim out far. He says, "Well, this is our common chamber where we mostly stay. This is our feeding grounds." And as you guys actually you look at the bottom of the cave. It is littered with bones, thousands of bones at the bottom of this. Definitely a feeding ground. He points back. He goes, the direction that you all came. If you go back up, there's another tunnel in the upper chamber. You will find the matriarch there. She's in quite bad shape. Through that, he points to the first left curtain, and he goes, "That is where our matriarch is. She takes care of all of our baby Sawagan that have not hatched yet. That is our hatchery. She's very intimidating. Do not touch any of them. I will warn you now. She will murder you. If you go in with
That's through the seaweed curtain to the left.
The first left seaweed curtain.
Okay.
The next curtain, as he points forward, he goes, "That's in the tunnel farthest from us. Those lead to the chambers where the warriors stay, and there is some storage that they have kept as well. And then the one far and up to the right, that leads deeper down into the caverns, where you will find Kelroot and other vile creatures down there as well, too. You hear them scream at night a lot of the time. I could not tell you what is actually down there. Kelroot keeps vicious creatures down there with him. But I have not been able to explore anything. We are not allowed to explore anywhere else. I have been in this chamber most of my life. I was never allowed to explore. I can tell you at least what is through those tunnels, and then everything if you have explored up above. None of us are allowed down in Kelroot.
If we go back through this tunnel, and I'll point through the tunnel that we came through, there's another tunnel to the right. The one that does not lead upward. Where does that go?
Are you talking about the one in the chamber, or the one that's the other tunnel you guys did not go through in the chamber? Remember, this tunnel you guys came through, it took you down. There is that chamber up top. He's talking about the chamber that is up top that you guys came from. There's a tunnel you guys came through, and then there was another tunnel that you guys did not go down. That is the tunnel he is saying that is where their queen or their matriarch is at.
Oh, then what was what is the seaweed tunnel off to the left?
The seaweed tunnel. That one is the matron. The matron is an elder Sawagan that actually protects the baby Sawagan and the eggs.
I see. So the matriarch is something different.
Matriarch, is something different. And as he was telling you, this party, all these creatures that they were currently eating were part of a party that came to save her. But apparently their plan, it did not go according to plan, and they were all captured and killed.
Let's see.
Why are they trying?
Oh, where's the entrance to these tunnels? If this is the feeding room, presumably there's an exit somewhere nearby that takes one to the open ocean.
Yes. As he points to so you've got the matron's chambers, then you've got the secondary,
the warrior one,
seaweed curtain. And then he also said that those ones kind of interconnect with the farthest tunnel from you guys. He goes, if you go through those chambers, you will see the shark hatchery and where they keep all the sharks at. And then then there are a couple other tunnels that will lead you into the giant blue hole, where there's a lot of shipwrecks down at the bottom of it. But you must be careful entering through that, trying to get down to the shipwrecks. It is poisonous water down there. Magical breathing or breathing underwater does not help, and there's a very good chance that you could die. But I would say do not try to venture there. Most of that has been picked clean, but you might find something else. But I would probably say you try to explore that. You'll have a better possibility of dying from searching than actually finding anything. But that is unfortunately all the help that I can give you, my captain. And if we can stay hidden inside this room. We will not alert anyone. Because we would be best if we were rid of Kelroot and all the other abominations that he has and keeps.
If you return to the rooms that you stayed in and raise no alarm, wait for a day, and then you are free to do as you please. If you raise an alarm, I will be forced to loose the Redskin one upon you. And his wrath is terrible.
What a god. Yes, I can see that he was able to heal me, and I'm sure just as well enough he'd be able to take that away from me as well, too. We will not anger you, you red-skinned god, the water god. Thank you.
Very well.
As it slowly he dips back inside the seaweed cave, or the seaweed antechamber that's here. Did the rest of you guys follow them out as well too, or were the rest of you guys still staying like inside, just like watching the rest of them? Like Eek and Azara and Aradia.
Follow the captain and Lockhart.
Okay. Sure.
Well, we have some information, so that is helpful.
Hey, can you guys not let the whole water god complex get the best of me? I just want to get ahead of that now before they start calling me it consistently.
Yeah, because it's not
but
a
of
real
course, Your
thing.
Eminence. Oh no, your Majesty. No, what would you call your benevolent? No, that's still royalty. Oh well, you know what? It's okay, Lockhart. We'll keep you from getting a big head.
Thank you.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't call you a sea devil. I don't know where sea god came
that sounds cool. Well, I mean, I healed him, so.
Wait,
Don't
the question
give
is,
him ideas, Bennett.
the question is, what makes the most sense? Do we head towards the matriarch and try to rescue her, or first deal with the problems of the warriors and this chieftain?
I think we should dispatch. Yes. I think we should dispatch the leader before we put someone else in charge.
Well then, let's prepare. Those who have them, grab your shafts. We have Sawagan to kill.
Hey, Captain, quick question. So, I was kind of catching what he was saying, but if the warrior's off in one tunnel, and then the big boss guy's off into another tunnel, if we go fight the big boss guy, the warriors might come in from behind. I might be able to set up some bombs that collapse one tunnel, preventing those guys from coming out to attack us, and then we can go take care of the big boss guy. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
Please don't collapse the tunnel that keeps us in here.
Yeah, that worries me.
No, Bennett, I was planning to collapse the tunnel that we want to collapse.
Well, based on his primitive instructions, it seems like this seaweed curtain leads to the warrior's room, and this one over here is at forks, leads to the chieftain's quarters down. So,
and then that one over there is what?
The little guys first.
That is where the babies live, apparently, and there's a shark fishery over there.
Wow.
He had a lot to say.
Yeah, he just
I guess
that was like a whole exposition dump right there.
As they're all talking, I'm gonna heal myself before we go in, and then I'm going to put away my sword and grab the loot out so I can use a spear.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd probably look at Captain and be like, I think we should go directly to the big man himself.
So are we not collapsing the tunnel with the warriors? I think Eek has a good idea here.
I think we should. Yes, I agree. I think we should let Eek give it a go. It's a very big cavern here. Even if Eek gets carried away, it's very unlikely that the whole place will collapse.
Look, Lockhart loves this idea. James, very terrified of this idea.
Me too.
One of those bombs can explode at someone's feet and barely hurt them. I think there's no way it's going to collapse an entire cavern. It's just unrealistic.
I don't think it's wise. I don't want to be trapped here forever.
I don't think it's wise either. I don't.
Let's take a vote, shall we? I agree.
Wait. I thought we had a captain.
Oh, I'm sorry, am I not allowed
Yeah,
to
so
speak?
it's a. Well, I believe the captain
mean,
seemed
I
to have
will-
given his order.
All right,
I
Captain,
will
what's
go
your
with
order
what the
then?
captain says, but I'm just going to say that I'm uncomfortable if Eek messes up.
Me too.
Oh,
It has happened.
when do I ever
Not saying it's
mess
going to
up?
happen this time.
You don't have to answer that question.
How big is this? How big is this large feeding cavern that we're in, Adam?
This thing's massive. From clean across to the opposite side, it's about 60 feet. Maybe from floor to ceiling, you're talking about 60 feet as well too.
Okay, and how far
I also
away
worry.
from? How far away is the warrior cavern that he pointed out from the entrance that we came in on?
From the way that you guys came, that one is maybe about halfway down this giant room.
Okay. And how far away is it from the tunnels he indicated that go deeper towards the chieftain?
So the tunnels that go deeper to the chieftain. So there are the two tunnels on the far end of the room. So you're talking about another 30 feet beyond that.
Well, I feel comfortable trusting Mr. Eek to do his business. I don't tell Mr. Ishmael how to stab people. I don't tell Lockhart how to swing his sword, and I certainly don't tell Azara how to sing. Now, the question is, do we trust Mr. Eek? He's a very trustworthy gentleman. And we all know that if he messes it up, it will be his head.
All of our
Captain?
heads.
Okay,
Correct.
so
Okay.
Then shall stand back.
Eek is going to actually go up to the tunnel that all the warriors stealthily go up to the tunnel and to where all the warriors are. That leads to the warriors, and he's going to examine it for the possibilities of being able to attach maybe a bomb or two to make it so. What are the probabilities of being able to successfully make a bomb or two to make it collapse?
Yes,
Talking
check
about
the
Rocky.
integrity.
Eek, I will say any bomb that you have ever launched has destroyed things. I would say you have a very high possibility of doing it. It's
and
a bomb.
and not hurt.
Because
I'm planning.
You have to give me a survival check. I mean, you think this room's big enough, but you never know. You guys, you'd have to give me knowledge geography because you guys are trying to think this. I mean, if you're going to take time to do it as well too.
I have knowledge geography. I can do some geography here. Could I also do maybe an engineering check?
No, because engineering
sounds
is
very like.
I'm also concerned that if we make very large explosions, then the BBEG will have time to buff himself or just leave.
If it leaves, perfect.
They never just leave, Rossi.
It's not a bad point. The tiefling has a point. I'll give him that.
I'll do whatever the captain tells me to do.
I think we're all agreed that he's unlikely to leave his home. So we have a question of, do we go and pursue him knowing that his warriors are all in this room? Or do we separate his reinforcements from him? That's what we're discussing. I believe strategically it's a better idea to separate his reinforcements before we deal with him himself.
I would agree with that,
Hey,
yes.
Eek.
Yeah?
Do you have a way of setting up a trap where the bomb doesn't go off until someone crosses the threshold of that warrior chamber?
Side note, I do believe that that's actually a certain feat that I have to take, Adam. I don't know if trap setting is, or if I can make a roll for, because I know there's disable device.
If you want to try one, you could give me a survival check to see how well you could try one. But yeah, there is a feat. I do believe it's like ranger trap setting, or because rangers can take a feat that allow you to like set traps and everything. It'll be more difficult without that sort of feat with you, but you can definitely try. There's no harm in trying. Oh my god, guys, I'm having so much fun with this. Explosions underwater in tunnels. This is great. This is to chat. Having
all
so
of a
much-
sudden, I just get this vibe from the all powers that be around us that, this setting a trap just may not be a good idea.
So
I
this
say
is
we go
player
for
knowledge
it.
that Dustin's talking about, and this is not Eek's knowledge.
I think we
No,
go for
Eeks
it.
just has
and,
this vibe
and if it's
of his
I
skills.
think
He
we
knows
go
his
for
skills.
it.
He knows.
We go for it, and if it's incredibly powerful underwater, I expect it to operate the same way when we use it again.
Yeah, they have been kind of volatile and unpredictable. It seems like.
Cool. Lockhart
Very
is going.
predictable.
Lockhart's going to
Sean.
just pop his head through the seaweed and let them know they will hear a few explosions, so they're not completely startled by it.
Alton looks at you. He goes, "Well, you're all speaking quite a lot. Is everything all right?"
No,
Okay.
I'm dealing with. No, your
Yeah.
god
Okay.
is having a rough day. It's okay.
Can I, at this point,
In the meantime, I'm going to
Can
make
I-
my geology check.
What were you saying, Wendy?
as Lockhart is delivering this kind of reassuring speech to the Odor folk, I'm gonna stealthily swim behind him and use prehensile hair to make angel wings
Oh, that's
behind.
amazing.
Make the prehensile hair make it look like wings behind him.
He can float underwater. He has magnificent mane upon him.
Oh,
he's
yes,
definitely
yeah,
a water
yes.
god.
Lockhart
Yes.
touches his bald head. And he's like, "Thank you for noticing. Your praise has lifted your water god's feelings. Thank you." And he just turns around.
What's your roll, Eek?
I rolled an 18 on a geology check to see where would be like the best place to put them and what would probably work the best to make it so this one tunnel is collapsed.
So geography and everything, this type of rock and everything, it's not at like slate, like that tunnel that you guys were in over on Death Isle. This one, you could set it up just enough to make it collapse. This chamber is big enough. You don't really know. I mean, vibrations and everything through the water as well too. It will make a loud boom. You don't know what is on the other side of that, what will come out of the opposite tunnels, but yeah, you could definitely try to collapse it for sure.
If
you want me to,
as soon as
I
you
can do
set
it.
it off, we charge in. So
We're
that
not
they're
into the
kind of
rooms that's
surprised.
collapsed. We charge down towards the chieftain.
Right. Yeah. So
And,
that
That's what
If
you
he
want,
kills
Captain?
in-
I can do it.
Yes. I believe that we take cover in the tunnel that leads towards the chieftain, which is far away from the blast zone, and also in the direction we want to go.
I have one more question. So sorry. How far is the cave with all the people in it to the tunnel? Because if it's very
Other side.
close,
60 feet.
okay. I just want to make sure it's not possible for these people to get caved in, and then I lose all of my worshippers.
You just gave us a talk that you don't want that.
That didn't take too long for it to go to his head.
It was like
You guys
5 minutes.
didn't stop me.
I encouraged
As
it
a
by
matter of
putting
fact,
up
I was quite
fake hair
encouraged.
wings
All right, Mr. Eek,
behind
I
him.
place my trust in you.
All right.
The rest of
So
us,
I'm
using
gonna
that
take
geology
cover
check,
over here.
the way that Eek is going
I'm
to
gonna go over
structure
to
this,
the
he's
tunnel
going
that
to
leads
actually
down
go.
to the.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm
So
going-
with Eek doing this, getting this word out, he's going to swim in. He's going to go a few feet into the tunnel that was told that was the warrior tunnel. He's going to make a bomb, stick it to like the top. He
So you-
actually does have. Huh?
Is this the second seaweed tunnel, or is this the farther tunnel on the left hand side?
This is the tunnel that was pointed out to us that holds the warriors, not the chieftain.
Which
Okay,
I believe
well, there
is this furthest.
The
second
warrior
Yes.
tunnels. And he's going to go in a few. As he looks down, how far down can he see down the tunnel?
Let me see here. So you are going to that tunnel. Okay. As you peek through, Eek. You kind of peek through. You actually, as soon as you open it, you see the body of this giant moray eel just completely ripped to shreds, floating towards the top of this. And then you see a couple of hooks with body parts on them as well too. It looks like the rest of like some of these dead creatures that these Sawagan were eating. Yeah, I mean, this one just looks kind of like a long tunnel. It starts just going back into the darkness, but
A long,
can't tell how
long
deep
tunnel.
it is. Long
Okay.
tunnel. You don't know how deep it is.
Before he actually enters, he is going to look for traps. Just a quick little kind of glance around.
Give me a perception check.
Perception. That is a dirty 20.
320. Look, you don't see any traps, but a little bit farther, just out of your eyesight, you see some weapons. Like they're not as rusty as the ones from before. These ones look like fresh weapons that you're probably guessing came from these creatures that tried to save their queen. There's some long spears, there's crossbows, there's a whole bunch of bolts as well too. And then just a little bit farther, just on the outside of your vision, you see like a rock sitting there, and you see this long shaft. Or not a long shaft, but maybe like a 12-inch long shaft that is just kind of sitting there on a rock. It's like a wand.
Oh. I'm going to quickly swim back to the captain. I can collapse it. There seems to be some pretty interesting stuff in there if you want to check it out. Like a magic wand.
Well, why don't you set up your bomb, go in and snag it, and blow it up on your way out?
Okay. I got an idea. I can do this. I can do this because, okay, I'm thinking on how to do this. So he is going to make up a potion of alter self.
No,
wait,
hold on. And he's like shaking you as you're trying to make the potion. He goes, "Let me make you invisible."
Okay, but I will also need a potion of alter self so I can swim fast. But
Let me
yes,
chuck
I like
you.
the invisible part. You're not going to throw me in the water. Okay, but okay. Never mind. So yes, I'll make a potion of alter self so I can have a swim speed so I can go fast. And
Yeah,
yes,
and
I
then
will let Lockhart turn me invisible.
Cool. I will take off the spell slot.
And before you go, a radio will put guidance on you.
Oh, thank you. I'll need that. And then Eek's gonna stealthily swim into the this cavern. Oh, wait a second. You know what? First, he will go halfway into the tunnel, place a bomb, and then continue going.
And continue going. Yes, Eek, you're swimming forward. As you reach down to grab this thing, you see a set of eyes in the darkness peering your
I haven't grabbed
direction.
anything yet. I just went into there to.
You did. You're in a
around.
tunnel. You see a pair of eyes staring your direction.
He's visible.
Yeah,
Well, no, you
can still
put me
stare in his
invisible.
direction.
Okay.
Like things
Okay,
can
I'm
still
just
look
saying.
at you guys.
I'm just saying.
He's gonna kind of like stop and see that they're kind of looking, and he's gonna try to he's gonna swim sideways to see if the eyes follow him.
Okay. Just looking forward.
How big are the eyes? Like Swagan size or like something much bigger Swagan size?
Something bigger.
Oh fuck. Okay, Eek's gonna very slowly swim forward. Can he tell what this thing is?
Do you have light with you at all? Do you have dark vision?
I have.
You're a
low
goblin,
light.
aren't you?
He has low light.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, since you have swam through the seaweed, or you have low light. Oh, so actually, Eek, you're in darkness then.
So I can't see anything.
Yeah.
Well, good. Then you don't know about the wand, so just blow the damn tunnel and let's get out of here.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have been able to see that.
Oh no!
I thought something very similar. It's just like if he could see the thing, but yeah. But I'm not there.
That was funny.
So what? Okay, you know
I
what?
thought you had light
Yeah.
or something with you, but you guys are making up all these weird plans, and too much is happening right now. I have no idea what you guys are doing. So, setting bombs, is that all you want to do then?
You know what?
Chaos
That's all I'll
crew,
do.
baby.
I'm done with this. So you know what? I'm gonna set up bombs. I'm gonna scroll back. I'm gonna swim backwards, load up a bomb on my crossbow, and shoot a bomb at the bomb while swimming back.
Crossbow doesn't work like that underwater unless you have an underwater crossbow.
Oh, what about the thingy that you had? I'm not there.
Well, my harpoon.
Throw your
Nope,
harpoon,
I'm
it
not
does
there. I'm
good
not there.
too.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, yeah, because if the crossbow doesn't work like that, then yeah, Adam's gonna just break my harpoon.
I'm sure he'll get
Oh
something
my god.
later on.
My harpoon's gonna break. Okay, then he's not. Yeah, this ability. This, you know what? He's gonna just swim back and be like, "Okay, Captain, I think it's a little too difficult. I don't think I can do this. My apologies for saying that I could. I don't think it's gonna work."
Very well. Well then, Azara, thoughts?
You know, I don't know at this point. I'm completely lost. Diana's completely lost too. We should take out the. Sorry, go ahead, Adam.
No, keep going. You're fine.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm lost. You got me at bombs in the cavern, and my head was spinning. So, I'm done.
As you're all trying to figure out something that happens in the water, you all hear this low echoing throughout all the chambers. Coming from direction, who knows? Could be coming from behind you. Could be coming from any of these ways. I mean, there's been lots of swimming, lots of talking, lots of loud talking. But where this noise is coming from, it echoes through the water. From where? We'll have to find out next time, ladies and gentlemen. As our story of our voyage comes to an end this evening, I've confused my players, they have confused me, so things are crazy on this eve. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for joining us on our. So this is actually the third episode. We are halfway through our season 2 of the Siren song. And we'll be back with all of this crazy stuff next week. I still cannot get our outro and everything to work, so what we'll do is everybody will say their
I
goodbyes.
was just gonna say, I guess we'll have to keep playing.
Yeah. And we're just going to have to end on this
Stop.
screen. I don't know what the heck
Gotta keep
happened.
going.
Nothing that I can actually fix on here without actually jumping away from screen for a bit. So, Captain, I will throw it to you. Go ahead, say hello, goodbyes, and any other information.
Hello, goodbye. I am Philip Rossi. I play Captain Scheiss Heisenberg. The confusion's all mine. Perhaps it is time for me to relinquish my title as one who knows which rings are invisible and which ones aren't. Take the helm.
That was so
James
great.
Chu, take it away.
Hello, my name is James Chu. I play Lockhart the Redskin Raven. You can find me on all social medias at ChuBear20. And then here, Sunday's playing the Siren song. That's it for me. Take it away, Wendy Lee.
I had to make sure I wasn't muted. Hey everybody, Wendy Lee Zaney playing the human witch Aradia, who did a lot of guidancing today. But she's still burning with rage at the sight of those Swagans. So we'll find out what happens next week if she maybe goes a little murder hopo heavy. We will see. Fun time tonight. You can find me on the DAT Network on every other Monday, Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays on various shows. So basically, you should just follow and subscribe to this channel so you can see all of our faces. And take it away, Brent. This way? Yeah.
Become a murder hobo.
Nice.
He's a very murder hobo Swagan.
All right. Yep, I'm Brent Horst. I am Bennett Ishmael. Having a lot of fun here. You will find me here Sunday nights on Journey of the Siren Song, and I do believe our captain was pretty close, pretty dead on to his prediction. I think. I don't know if there was. I don't know if he missed any.
He's getting close.
But yeah, so yes, so it's been a great time. Thank you all for joining us, and go for it, Eek.
Hey everyone, I am Dustin Zaney. You can find me on YouTube at the Movie Couple channel with my beautiful wife Wendy, talking the latest in pop culture and movie news. You can also find me here on Twitch at Darth Zaney. That's Darth Zany, and you can find me here on the DAT Network every Saturday and Sunday playing some tabletop RPGs with the crazy people of the DAT family. Take it away, Diana.
Thank you. I'm Diana Sharpo. You can find me on the socials at DianaS3, Monday nights on the Norse Founder channel with Adam Conn as we play some Blades in the Dark. That's tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come join us. I play Creepy Daw. Adam plays... He'll tell you in just a second. And then Saturday... Oh, no, I'm going to leave it to you. Saturday, you can find us here on Kings of Dirt on the DAT Network. And then Sunday, you can find us here back again on the Siren Song. Anyway, have a good night, guys. I love you guys. Adam, take it away.
Yes, as she said, actually you can find me as a very handsome, intelligent man with long blonde hair that is currently underneath this wig that I'm currently wearing over on Norse Foundry. I'll be back on
Jet Black.
What?
You were wearing a Jet Black wig.
That's what I meant. There's so much happening in my brain right now.
I know, sorry.
Thursday, our second episode of Avatar Legends Book 1 Harvest is going to be back, which is super exciting. I'm going to be on that. Kings of Dirt Saturday with Dustin and Wendy and Diana. We'll be back here with some more Siren Song next week. You will not find Dice is Right this upcoming Monday. They just had their show, but they will be back next Monday. Wednesday, some bad odd jobs. Friday, we've got Shambhala, Trash Daddy, the hater of all things pirate and everything. He'll be back on Saturday, and then we'll be back next Sunday as well too. Guys, thank you guys so much again for tuning in, and we hope to see all of you next time. I'm going to go ahead and go click that button that stops the screen. You guys just keep waving for about 10 seconds while I do that.
Okay.
See you guys next time. Love you all.
Good night, guys. Bye.
Keep waving.
Good night, good night.
Keep waving.
Never stop waving.
Bye. Wait, we'll do the wave.
This is way longer than 10 seconds.
Wait, guys, hold on a second. Give me a second. We're almost there. Almost there. We're going. We're going.
We're close.
We're going.